Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Adopted by Wild Pussycats Group Part 1. Before we start, please go support KingJoka for writing that awesome fanfic. Parental love. It is the middle of the night and the Midoriya household is currently on fire. People were gathering outside and starting to call the fire brigade. Inside the building were two people. One was a man, early 30s, breathing heavily, sat up against a wall and covering the hole in his gut. This man is Hisashi Midoriya. Standing in front of him is a man dressed in a black tuxedo. His right arm is covered in Hisashi's blood. This man is the ultimate villain, all for one. Afo. I'll ask you one more time, Hisashi, where is the child? Hisashi, who's barely able to breathe or stay conscious, manages to smile a crooked smile. Hisashi. You're out of luck. Inko's probably over 100 miles away from here. It doesn't matter if I live or not, I know she'll make sure you never find him. Afo. I will find them, and when I do, I'll become unstoppable. Hisashi. Ha 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 ha. Afo. Is something about this amusing? Hisashi. I just find it funny that the strongest villain alive is afraid of a newborn. Afo. I fear no human. That child simply has the power I need to rule the world. Hisashi. Is that so? Well, I've got news for you then. You'll never lay a single finger on him. That child will one day become a hero far stronger than you or All Might. He'll come for you one day. He'll end your reign of terror and the world will praise his name. Afo. Is this a hero's determination? Hisashi. No, it's a father's belief in his child. Afo. You disappoint me, Hisashi, but your determination is commendable. I'll make sure your wife and child meet you soon. Hisashi. Hollow promises. Afo. Goodbye, Hisashi. Afo was swallowed up by a black sludge and disappeared while saying this. Hisashi just stayed silent while managing to pull out a cigarette and light it with his quirk. He took a puff and looked up to a framed picture on the wall across the room. It was a picture of him, Inko, and their newborn baby boy in the hospital. He smiled as a tear made its way down his face. Hisashi. I'm sorry, Inko, Izuku. It looks like this is my end. Inko, make sure our son is safe, hide him where no one can find him and run. They'll be able to find you easier than him. I know this is harder on you than it is for me, but this is for the sake of our son. I'm sorry and I love you. Hisashi then coughed up some blood that put out his cigarette. His vision was starting to blur at this point. Hanging on a little longer, he managed to get one last look at the picture. He focused mainly on his child's peaceful sleeping face. Hisashi. Izuku, you'll make us proud, I know it. Hisashi managed one final smile before closing his eyes for good. Firemen broke through the door a few seconds later. Amidst the flames and ashes, did they find a corpse? It was the body of a hero who smiled even after death. Meanwhile, a woman with green hair was standing in the middle of a forest with a sleeping baby in her hands wrapped up in a blanket. She slowly made her way to a tree that had an opening at its base. She then proceeded to put the baby in the opening. She then started to cry heavily and picked up the baby again to embrace it one last hug. Izuku, I'm so sorry. Your father and I aren't going to be there for you. We won't be able to hear your first words, see you take your first step, or even see you make your first smile. It hurts my heart so much to let you go, but I know I'd be putting you at risk by taking you with me. I also know that whatever's in this forest will keep you safe. I love you so much and I only wish the best for you. She then put the baby back down. Reaching in her pocket, she pulled out a locket that had the baby's name written on it. She then proceeds to place the locket around the infant's neck. Izuku, this locket has a picture inside it. It's a picture of you, me, and your father. When someone finds you, they'll see the locket and the picture inside. They'll know you had a family. They'll know that you weren't abandoned and that you were loved. She then bends down and kisses the baby on its forehead. Goodbye, Izuku. The woman then ran out of the forest with tears streaming down her face. 4 days later, the woman, who had been identified as Inko Midoriya, was found dead. Cause of death. A large hole in her chest where her heart should have been. Her death was immediately linked to that of Hisashi Midoriya. Unfortunately, no leads to a killer ever showed up. The whereabouts of their infant child, Izuku Midoriya, were never discovered, so for a week he was just labeled as missing before he was written off as dead. However, this was not true. Unknown to the world, the name Izuku Midoriya would soon rise to power and bring about a great change in the world. The time is coming. The next one will soon step forward. Wild beginnings. It's been 10 years since the murder of the Midoriya family. Those close to the family have long since stopped mourning the two who have died, however there remains those who continue to look for the missing son. Many believe that it's a pointless act and believe he simply died. This is untrue though. At a certain mountain forest. Ragdoll, are you sure this is the right way? Ragdoll. I'm sure, Tiger. Their vehicle is in this direction. These two are members of the four-person hero group known as the Wild Ycats. They are currently searching for a group of villains that escaped into the forest after trying to attack their base. Tiger. These bastards, they've got the nerve to attack our base, but as soon as we start fighting back they turn tail and run. Ragdoll. It's because you've got such a scary face. Tiger. Oh Ragdoll. Ah, there they are. Tiger looked up to see four shady-looking guys ahead of them. Shady guy. Shit, they caught up. Shady GUI too. Run. Tiger. There's no escape for you. In the blink of an eye, Tiger stretched his arms around two of the guys and threw them at the other two, successfully knocking all four of them out. Ragdoll. We did it. Tiger. I don't think "we" is the correct word. Ragdoll. Hey, I helped find them, didn't I? Tiger. Whatever, hurry up and send a signal to Mandalay and tell her to contact the cops. Ragdoll. Yeah, I'll get right on it him. Tiger. Something wrong? Ragdoll. I'm hearing something up ahead and it sounds hurt. Tiger. We might as well check it out. Help me tie these idiots up first though. After tying up the bad guys and signaling Mandalay, Tiger and Ragdoll begin searching for the thing Ragdoll heard. Ragdoll. It should be right around here somewhere. Tiger. And what exactly is it? Ragdoll. I don't know. Tiger. You're not taking this seriously, are you? Ragdoll. I am serious, it's a possibly injured creature we're talking about. Tiger. That look on your face doesn't show it. Ragdoll. It's not my fault that my face is so adorable. Tiger. Sigh, are we any closer to the source of the sound? Ragdoll. Yeah, it should be right over there. Ragdoll points to a nearby bush that seems to be rattling. Slowly, Tiger approaches the bush and peeks inside it. Tiger. Ragdoll, come look at this. Ragdoll. What is it? Ragdoll peeks inside the bush to see what appears to be an injured wolf with green markings all over its body. Ragdoll. It's a wolf. Tiger. It looks like it's been shot. Ragdoll. Do you think it was one of those goons we just caught? Tiger. Most likely. One of them was carrying a gun on them. There's also that. Tiger points to a bunch of wolf corpses lying all around the forest. Ragdoll. How cruel. How dare these bastards do this to a bunch of innocent animals? Tiger. They probably entered their territory. We'll need to add animal cruelty to their list of charges. Ragdoll. What about this wolf? It's still breathing. Tiger. We'll take it back to the base and treat its wounds. I'll carry it. Tiger attempts to pick up the wolf, but the wolf tries to bite him in response. Tiger tries again only to end up with the same result. He considers giving up until he hears whimpering coming from behind the wolf. He looks behind the wolf to see two pups behind it. Ragdoll. Puppies. Tiger. I see. It's protecting the pups. Ragdoll. Is it a parent? Tiger. How am I supposed now that? At any rate, I can't pick it up if it keeps biting. Ragdoll. Let me give it a shot. Ragdoll extends her hand to the wolf and as expected, it bites her. Tiger. Ragdoll. Ragdoll flinches a bit, but instead of pulling away, she uses her other hand to pet the wolf's head. The wolf's eyes widen and look at her with a confused expression. Ragdoll simply smiles in response. Ragdoll. I know you're scared and worried about these two pups, but it's alright. We're not gonna hurt you or them. The wolf stops biting and seems to calm down before passing out. Tiger. You're more grown up than I gave you credit for. Ragdoll. It doesn't sound like a compliment if you say it like that. Tiger. I didn't intend for it to be. I'll pick up the wolf, you take the cubs. After doing just that, the two walk back to the captured villains and wait for pickup where Mandalay and Pixie Bob are waiting for them. They explain the situation to them and they agree to take care of the wolf and the pups. 30 minutes later. Pixie Bob, Tiger, and Ragdoll finish handing the villains over to the police and Mandalay is busy with the wolves. Ragdoll. Finally, dealing with the cops always takes so long. Tiger. What do you expect? We needed to explain the entire situation and show them all those dead wolves as evidence. Ragdoll. Yeah, but still. Pixie Bob. I'm just glad you guys are alright. You did a good job with both the villains and rescuing those wolves. Ragdoll. Thanks. I wonder how Mandalay's doing with them. Tiger. We should ask her later when she's done treating them. Pixie Bob. That injured wolf was kinda strange looking. Tiger. Indeed, I'd never seen a wolf with those green markings before. Ragdoll. They make it look kinda cool though. Suddenly, the three could hear a voice yelling at them in their heads. Guys, get in here and see this. Ragdoll. That was Mandalay. Pixie Bob. Sounds like something's happening. Tiger. Let's go. The three run to Mandalay who's at the outdoor baths. They run inside and see Mandalay staring at something. Pixie Bob. Mandalay, what's wrong? Ragdoll. Is it a villain attack or what the? The three look to where Mandalay is staring at and see a naked green-haired boy with wolf ears, a tail, and a locket around his neck. Tiger. Mandalay, I won't question your interests, but it looks like we'll have to call the police back. Mandalay. I'm not that sick of a person. Pixie Bob. Then explain the naked clearly underage boy sitting there. Mandalay. You guys brought him in here. Tiger. We brought you a wolf, not a pedophile's dream come true. Mandalay. That is your wolf. Tiger. What? Mandalay. It turned into a kid while I was cleaning its wounds. Look, you can see the gunshot wound. True to her word, the others could indeed see a gunshot wound on the boy's abdomen. Ragdoll. She's right. Pixie Bob. But why was he a wolf? Tiger. Maybe it's a quirk. The boy walks up to Ragdoll and sits in a manner similar to a dog. Bark bark bark. Tiger. Is he trying to speak? Mandalay. I think so. Pixie Bob. Does he not know how to speak Japanese? Mandalay. I don't think he knows how to speak in general. Tiger. I wonder what he was doing in the woods. Ragdoll. Hey, this locket has a name on it. Pixie Bob. Huh. Ragdoll. Izuku Midoriya. That's what it says. That must be his name. Mandalay. Midoriya. Why does that name sound familiar? Ragdoll. There's a picture in it. Mandalay. Let me see. The rest of the team get closer and see a picture of a man and woman with a baby in a hospital. Mandalay. I'm guessing these two are his parents. Tiger. That man, isn't he a hero? Mandalay. Is he? Ragdoll. I'll try searching the police records for a missing child named Midoriya. Tiger. Yeah, I think I remember meeting him once. I believe his name was. Ragdoll. Hisashi Midoriya. Tiger. Huh. The others look to see Ragdoll looking at something on her phone and the boy sniffing her phone. She appeared to looking at some sort of police document. Ragdoll. Hisashi Midoriya, known as the Emerald Flame and the former Seven hero. Announced dead 10 years ago on July 22nd. He was found dead in his burned down house. Cause of death, organ damage and loss of blood caused by a puncture to the chest. His wife, Inko Midoriya, was found dead in an alley with similar cause of death. Their deaths have been linked together and classified as homicide. The culprit to this day has not been found. The couple's newborn child, who had only been born a week prior, was classified as missing before being written off as dead. Ragdoll then drops her phone and gives the boy a hug with tears in her face. The boy, now known as Izuku Midoriya, looks at Ragdoll confused by her actions. Mandalay and Pixie Bob also joined in on the hug. Ragdoll. This is too sad and cruel a life for a person. Mandalay. A person shouldn't lose their family like that. Pixie Bob. He probably doesn't even know about any of this. Tiger. I know this is sad, but you should think about the fact that you're hugging a naked 10-year-old boy. The others realize what they're doing and let go of the boy, who looked at them even more confused. Tiger. Let's get him dressed and bandage his wounds. And they do just that. They dress him in a pair of Tiger's pajamas and bandage the wound on his chest. He's now currently sleeping with the two pups on a couch in the team's office. Tiger. What are we going to do with him? Pixie Bob. I checked and it doesn't look like he has any surviving family members. Mandalay. I don't like the idea of sending him to an orphanage. Also, I don't think there's a lot of places that'd take in the wolves too. Tiger. We could take the wolves to a shelter, but I doubt the kid would be happy about that. Pixie Bob. He's been among the wolves his whole life, so he must think of them as family. It'd be too cruel to separate them. Ragdoll. How about we take them in? Pixie Bob. What? Ragdoll. We've got plenty of space here and there's an extra room him and the wolves could sleep in. Pixie Bob. Wait a minute, I feel bad for the kid too, but what makes you think we can raise a kid here in the mountains? Ragdoll. I understand if you guys don't want to do it. Which is why I'm willing to take care of him myself. Pixie Bob. Do you even know the first thing about taking care of children? Ragdoll. I was the one who found him, so it's only natural I take responsibility. Besides, he seems to like me. And I can't help but feel sad for him, he lost his entire family without even knowing it. Pixie Bob. As sad as that may be, you can't raise a kid by yourself while maintaining a hero career. Mandalay. Pixie Bob is right, Ragdoll. You can't do this by yourself. Pixie Bob. See. Mandalay. Which is why we're going to raise him here together. Pixie Bob. What? Mandalay. I can't let this kid's future be based on luck. As a human being, I can't help but want to help him. Tiger. I agree. It'd be irresponsible to just let the kid go. Pixie Bob. You too, Tiger. Tiger. Don't try and say you don't want to help. I can see that you feel the same as the rest of us. Pixie Bob. Alright, I'll help. Tiger. Thought so. Ragdoll. Thanks guys. Ragdoll walks to Izuku who wakes up hearing her footsteps. She sits down next to his head on the couch and ruffles his hair. Ragdoll. You hear that, Izuku? We're gonna be a family. Without even knowing the meaning behind her words, Izuku smiles, starts rubbing up against Ragdoll, and wags his tail. Mandalay. He really does like you. Ragdoll, I'll handle the paperwork if you're willing to sign up as his legal guardian. Ragdoll. Thanks Mandalay. Tiger. By the way, we should probably take the kid to a doctor to make sure about his physical health. Pixie Bob. We've got a day off tomorrow so we might as well go then. Mandalay. It's agreed then. Now let's get to sleep, we've had a long day. Ragdoll. I'll have Izuku sleep in my room for now, since we still need to clear out the extra room. Night guys. Mandalay, Tiger and Pixie Bob. Night. Ragdoll proceeds to pick up the pups and leads Izuku to her room. She then lays out a futon for Izuku and the pups. She was about to go to sleep until she noticed Izuku staring confusingly at the futon. Ragdoll. Oh right, you don't know what a futon is. She gets under the futon's covers and gestures Izuku to climb in. Him and the pups climb in and start falling asleep. Ragdoll waits for them to fall asleep before going to her bed. Ragdoll, night Izuku. The next day, in the hospital. Tiger. Ouch. Pixie Bob. Hold still. Tiger. I can't help it, that stings. Ragdoll. Sorry again Tiger. I didn't think Izuku would be so against getting in the car. Tiger. Don't worry about it. He was raised by wolves so he's quick to violence by nature. Mandalay. We really need to teach him how to function as a human. Tiger. I think we should probably homeschool him until we're sure he can function among others. Mandalay. Agreed. Pixie Bob. I wonder what's taking so long though. It shouldn't take this long for a checkup. Right as she said that, Izuku, the pups and the doctor came through the door. Izuku and the pups immediately dog walked to Ragdoll's side. Ragdoll. Is everything alright with Izuku, doctor? Doctor? Well physically, there are no problems with his health. His behavior is very abnormal, but from what you told me about his upbringings, it's only natural for him to act like this. Ragdoll. So everything's alright then. That's a relief. Doctor? Yes, well there is something I want to bring up. Mandalay. What is it doctor? Doctor? Well you see my quirk allows me to emit light from my body. I use it to turn my finger into a penlight of sorts. While I was using my quirk to check Izuku's eyes, this happened. The doctor walks up to Izuku and holds out his finger. Izuku then proceeds to mimic the doctor and holds out his finger as well. The doctor then proceeds to emit a small light from his finger. Somehow, Izuku manages to emit a light from his finger as well. This shocks the others. The doctor then emits light from his whole hand, which Izuku also does. Ragdoll. What's going on here? Doctor. Izuku has developed the ability to mimic my quirk. Tiger. I thought his quirk turned him into a wolf. Doctor. That's not what his quirk is. Mandalay. So his quirk is to mimic other people's quirks. Doctor. That's not it either. Pixie Bob. But he just copied your quirk. Doctor. That's how it seems, but after taking into consideration the fact that he had transformed his body into that of a wolf's, I realized that it wasn't the case. After careful thought, I came to a conclusion. Ragdoll. Well what is it? Doctor. Izuku seems to possess some sort of adaptation quirk. A quirk that either changes his body's structure on instinct or on will. He copied my quirk because he was fascinated by it, but he transformed into a wolf because as an infant, he would have imprinted on them. Although that last statement could only be plausible if he had his quirk since birth. Think of it like Bergman's rule, where animals in colder climates grow larger to maintain body heat. In this case, his body will adapt to match Izuku's needs. Ragdoll. Spell it out for me doc. Doctor. In other words, this young man's quirk has the power to manipulate his body to do various things. Put simply, it's a quirk that alters the user's body to create powers. E.g. changing into a wolf would be a created power. Tiger. That's. Mandalay. A really incredible quirk. Ragdoll. That's so awesome, you're so cool Izuku. Pixie Bob. With a quirk like that, he could probably be a hero. Tiger. Mandalay. Mandalay. What is it Tiger? Tiger. Come with me. Tiger and Mandalay walk outside and stand by the car. Mandalay. What did you want to talk to me about? Tiger. Do you remember the police report Ragdoll read yesterday? The one about the Midoriya incident? Mandalay. Yeah, what about it? Tiger. Think carefully about what happened. Both Hisashi Midoriya and Inko Midoriya were killed, but Izuku was nowhere near the site of either of their deaths. Mandalay. What are you trying to say? Tiger. I'm saying the kid is the reason for their deaths. Mandalay. What? Tiger. Think about it. With our understanding of Izuku's quirk, it should be easy to understand that someone would want his power. Bear in mind that it was Midoriyas that were targeted specifically. And a week after Izuku's birth as well. If Izuku was born with his quirk, it would have been recorded in the medical records. From there on, it's not too far of a stretch to say that someone could have gotten hold of them. Mandalay. My god, you're right. Tiger. And I can tell that once Izuku's existence is made public, there'll be people looking for him. Mandalay. What do we do? Tiger. Train him. Mandalay. Huh. Tiger. We can't stop people from coming after him, but we can at least make it so that he can defend himself and others. Mandalay. So we're making him a hero then. Tiger. Exactly. You in? Mandalay. I don't really see any other options. So yeah, I'm in. Tiger. Good. We'll talk to the others about this later and start training him as soon as possible. We should also try to keep the knowledge of his quirk to a select few. You never know who has ties to the man looking for Izuku. Mandalay. Tiger. Tiger. Mandalay. When Izuku finds out about what happened, he'll probably be out for blood. Tiger. Another reason to make him a hero. Once we're certain he can handle the truth, we'll tell him. Mandalay. Agreed. The two proceed to walk back into the hospital. Their minds currently overwhelmed by the drastic nature of Izuku's past and the possible dangers of his future. The thought of a mere child going up against a hero killer was truly frightening, but they understood that this was his destiny. This is the beginning of Izuku's journey. This is the story of the beast turned savior. Run wild. Ace, Luna, breakfast. At a certain mountain base, a green-haired boy wearing a locket with wolf ears and a tail can be seen standing outside with 2 bowls of dog food. Out of the base, 2 wolves come out and approach the boy. Wolf 1. Breakfast, I'm starving. Wolf 2. Thanks, Izuku Nai. Izuku. It's no problem, Luna. Luna and Ace. Itadakamasu. The 2 wolves begin eating as the boy, now identified as Izuku, pets them. Izuku. You 2 really fine with eating this stuff. I could get you something tastier. Ace. It's no problem. Besides, this stuff isn't half bad. Luna. I just wish you could eat with us, Izuku Nai. Izuku. I wish I could, but Pixney says I have to eat at the table. Izuku, it's time for breakfast. Izuku. Come on, I gotta go. You 2 can join us when you're done. Ace and Luna. Okay. Izuku proceeds to pet the wolves on their heads before walking back into the base. He then enters a kitchen where 4 other individuals were eating breakfast at a table. Izuku. Ragni, Pixney, Mandani, Tiganai, mornin'. Ragdoll, good morning Izuku. Manda. Breakfast is ready, so go ahead and dig in. Izuku. K. Izuku proceeds to sit at the table where there was a plate of food next to his. Izuku. Itadakamasu. Izuku immediately starts gorging on his bacon and eggs while completely ignoring his knife and fork and just eats with his hand. Ragdoll smiles at this while the other 3 sweat drop. Pixie Bob. 4 years and he still hasn't managed to learn proper table manners. Mandalay. Or proper English. Tiger. I'm pretty sure that last one's a choice since he can read and write just fine. Ragdoll. I think it's fine how he talks. It adds personality. Tiger. Of course you think that. You're too lenient a parent. Ragdoll. Exactly, I'm the fun mom. Izuku. Fun mom. Ragdoll. See, he gets it. Mandalay. You 2 are too alike for your own good. Izuku. Shishishishi. Tiger. See, you caused him to learn that weird laugh. Ragdoll. How was I supposed to know an I'm would be so impressionable on him? Tiger. He's a child, everything's impressionable on him. Izuku. Shishishishi. Clink. Izuku. Izuku hears the clattering of a plate and looks next to him to see a little girl holding the plate that was next to him. Izuku smiles and his tail starts wagging when he realizes who it is. Izuku. Katori. The girl glares at Izuku before running out of the room with the plate. This causes Izuku to gain a sad face and his tail and ears to droop. Mandalay. Looks like she's still mad at him. Pixie Bob. And they were so close too. Practically inseparable. Izuku. Why? Tiger. How did this start anyways? Ragdoll. She started avoiding Izuku when she heard he's gonna study to be a hero. Tiger. She's still not over it, huh? Mandalay. No, she's not. Tiger. I suppose it's only understandable. Pixie Bob. By the way, have you decided where Izuku's going to study? Mandalay. Yeah, we're going to let him try for UA. Pixie Bob. UA? You sure he can actually get in there? I mean he'd probably pass the physical exam, but as for the written exam? Tiger. His condition should make it possible for him to pass as long as we load him with enough information. Pixie Bob. What about his Quirk situation? You know they have that huge festival every year. Mandalay. We already spoke to the principal and he ensured us that any details revolving his location and private life will remain secret. Also, there will be a hero to serve as his personal guard. Pixie Bob. Who's the hero? Tiger. He's still deciding who to appoint. Pixie Bob. I see. By the way, how are we gonna get him there and back every day? Ragdoll. Don't worry about that. I've got a friend who lives close to and works at UA who doesn't mind taking care of Izuku or his siblings. Pixie Bob. Really, how convenient and nice of them. Ragdoll. I know, it's really nice of her to do this for us. I'm going to miss having Izuku around all the time, though. Of course I'll visit him twice a week though. Mandalay. Maybe just twice a month. Tiger. By the way, where did Izuku go? Ragdoll. Huh. The three females turned to Izuku's chair to see him gone with only an empty plate remaining. Pixie Bob. When did he leave? Mandalay. He must have gone after Katori again. Tiger. He's too caring. It's a flaw and a blessing wrapped in one. Ragdoll. They're in the same boat, so he knows how she feels. Pixie Bob. He lost his wolf family, his pain is so similar to hers. Tiger. He still has family and his wolf siblings, and they both have all of us. Izuku has accepted it, but Katori still feels the despair. She turned that despair into hatred towards heroes and quirks. Ragdoll. And since Izuku is going to be a hero, she decided to hate him too. Mandalay. I'm sure she'll get over it eventually. She loved spending time with Izuku, so there's no way she'll be mad at him forever. They're pretty much siblings after all. Tiger. Agreed. Moving on, I'll be heading to Musatafu for more supplies, anything you want me to get. Mandalay. Yeah, Ace and Luna's food supply is running out, so make sure to buy some of that. Tiger. Sure, I might as well leave now. See ya. Tiger proceeds to pick up his plate and put it in the sink. He then grabs the keys to the pickup truck and heads outside. Meanwhile with Izuku. Currently Izuku, in his wolf form, was lying in a small space and looking a bit sad. His human clothes pretty much acted like a blanket for him. Izuku. Why, Katori. 1 week ago. Katori. Why you're going to be a hero? Izuku. Yeah. Katori. You're leaving too. Katori looks down as her hat shadows her eyes. Izuku starts to panic seeing her reaction. Izuku. Katori. Katori. Katori looks back up and Izuku can't see that she's crying. She starts sniffling before answering back in an angry tone. Katori. Hate you. Izuku seemed to turn white as he felt his heart break into pieces. He remained motionless as Katori ran out of the room still crying. Back to present. Izuku. She won't talk to me or even call me big bro. Izuku said as he was and I'm crying. He stops crying once he hears a door opening and closing. He then hears an engine start and feels as if he was moving. Izuku sits up and peeks around the corner of a car seat and sees Tiger behind the wheel. Izuku. Tiganai's driving the truck. I don't think he's realized I'm in here. Where's he going? Tiger. Izuku ducks back down as Tiger looks over his shoulder. After a few seconds, Tiger turns back as Izuku mentally sighs. Izuku. I've never been outside the mountains before, this is a golden opportunity. I can see the outside world and forget about this morning too. It's a win-win, shishi. Small time skip. Izuku. Zzz. Currently, Izuku had fallen asleep on the road. His nap has abruptly come to an end when the vehicle comes to a stop which caused his head to hit the seat. Izuku. Ow. Izuku immediately covers his mouth and breaks out in a cold sweat. After a few minutes, nothing happens and Izuku sighs in relief. Then the door opens. Izuku slowly turns his head to see an angry Tiger looking down at him. Izuku then grows a nervous smile as Tiger's face grows more and more enraged. Tiger. Izuku. Izuku. Hi Tiganai. Tiger. You are in so much true. Izuku then jumps on Tiger's face and jumps off onto the car as Tiger falls back before running away. Tiger stands back up and looks around to see Izuku nowhere in sight. Tiger. Izuku. After several minutes of running, Izuku finds himself in an alley. He then transforms into his human form. He then walks out and looks around for Tiger. Izuku. I lost him. Izuku walks down the street and looks around at all the people and buildings in the city. The people walking past him give a strange look due to his unusual appearance, but Izuku's distracted by everything else around him. Izuku. This must be a city. I've always wanted to see one. There's so many different looking people here and everything's so flashy. As Izuku continues to walk on, he hears a loud noise in the distance. Curious, he decides to head towards the source of the sound. After walking for a bit, he comes to a group of people in front of a train station all looking up at something. He pushes through to the front of the group and looks up to see a giant man monster on the tracks. Izuku. Whoa, huge. The monster thrashes about as Izuku grows more excited. The monster knocks over a metal beam into the ground, but it gets caught by a muscular man wearing hazard warning braces and a headband. Random guy. Oh, it's Death Arms. Izuku. Awesome. Izuku tries to get closer, but he gets stopped by a barrier made of water. Everyone, this is dangerous. Stay back, stay back. Random guy 2. The rescue specialist, Backdraft, is here too. Izuku. Water. Izuku proceeds to drink the water from the barrier, but immediately spits it back out. Izuku. Gross. Backdraft. Hey, stop it, I'm not a water fountain. Old man. You're not very smart, are you, kid? While Izuku was doing this, a figure had jumped over the crowd and engaged with the monster. Random fangirls. You can do it, Kamui. Monster. Get away. The monster swings at Kamui, but he uses his arm as a lasso to dodge the attack. Izuku. Cool. Old man. You're interested in heroes, aren't you, kid? Izuku. Yeah. Kamui tries to capture the villain with his vine arm, but he ends up getting flung. He manages to regain his composure and lands on the roof of the terminal. Kamui. Illegal use of powers during rush hour and robbery resulting in bodily injury. You are the incarnation of evil. Kamui swings his arm to the side as it turns into branches. Izuku. Go, tree guy. Old guy. Show us something flashy, tree man. Kamui. Preemptive binding lacquered chain prison. Before Kamui can land his attack, the monster gets kicked out of the way by a giant female figure. Panyon cannon. Kamui. Huh. Everyone just stares blindly at the scene unfolding before them. Izuku on the other hand is still as excited as ever. Out of nowhere, a bunch of grown men with cameras appear and start taking pictures. Hammer pervs. Here it is, here it is, here it is, here it is. The day is the day of my debut. My name is Montana. Lady. A pleasure to make your ass acquaintance. She sticks her ass out further as more and more camera pervs start appearing and taking pictures. Meanwhile, Kamui Woods was still in the same pose on the terminal, still stuck in shock. Izuku on the other hand was just excited to see someone so big. Izuku. Giant women so cool. Old guy. I feel ashamed when compared to your innocence, kid. Montana. Lady shrinks down as the media starts to gather around her. While she's waving and smiling, she notices our wolf-tailed protagonist out of the corner of her eye. His wagging tail and wolf ears catch her attention. Montana. Lady. What's this? He's cute, kinda like a puppy. Before Montana. Lady can approach Izuku, she gets stopped by the media and the other heroes. Montana. Lady. Shoot, I guess I'll have to find him later. Izuku continues watching the scene in front of him until he hears a rumbling. Hearing it again, he realizes the sound is coming from his stomach. Izuku. I'm hungry. I need food. Izuku holds his hand on his stomach as he scans the area for food. Izuku. I don't see any food or big animals to eat. Now what? Izuku walks around while scanning the area for food until his eyes land on a certain girl with shoulder-length brown hair. Izuku. She looks the same age as me. I'll ask her where's the food. Izuku walks up behind the girl and taps on her shoulder. She shakes a bit before turning around. When she does, Izuku can see that her hair covers her eyes and that she appears to have a nervous expression. CC, can I help you? Izuku looks down at the girl before bending down a bit so that they're at eye level. Izuku. Food, where? The girl stares at Izuku with a confused look before speaking up. See, come again. Izuku. Where get food? Are you looking for a place to eat? Izuku. Yeah. Well, there's a ramen place around the corner. It's the building with the blue sign and cat mascot. Izuku. Smiles, got it, thanks. And no problem. Izuku. Izuku moves closer so that his face is directly in front of hers. This causes her to blush and move back a bit. Is something wrong? Izuku moves closer again and uses his hand to lift up the hair blocking her eyes. This allows Izuku to get a good look at her and lets him see her X-shaped pupils. Izuku. Pretty. This causes the girl to blush like crazy and start acting even more nervous than before. Nenu. She then runs away, leaving Izuku in a confused state as the people around him stare in a kind of worried look. Izuku. What just happened? She looked like she was afraid of something, but what? Izuku closes his eyes and rubs his chin while he goes into deep thought. After a few minutes, Izuku's eyes widen as he comes to his own conclusion. Izuku. Me. This startled everyone around Izuku as he got to thinking. Izuku. It only makes sense. The shaking, red face and the scream, she was definitely scared of me. Do I really look that scary? Is everyone scared of me or is it just girls? Due to Izuku's secluded upbringing, he hadn't had any interaction with people other than those he considered family. Because of this, he has no idea how to act around others or how to interpret a person's reactions, so he's prone to having a misunderstanding. Izuku continues to mumble to himself until he's interrupted by his stomach grumbling. Izuku. I forgot I was hungry. With his hunger now taking priority, Izuku runs off in the direction the girl showed him. After finding the restaurant, Izuku barges in, kicks the door open and demands food. Izuku. Food. After a few minutes, everyone in the restaurant, including the chefs who stepped out of the kitchen, was staring at Izuku gorging down all the food. He had 30 bowls of ramen stacked and scattered on his table, and the numbers kept on rising. Izuku. Delicious. Waiter. Sir. Well, we're glad you're enjoying our food, you're also disturbing the other customers. Also, we need to tend to the matter of your bill. Izuku. Bill. The waiter proceeds to hand Izuku his bill. Izuku puts his food down, and his eyes widen as soon as he sees the check. After staring at the check for what felt like an eternity, Izuku seems to come back to his senses and turns to stare directly at the waiter. Izuku. Bathroom, where? Waiter, it's right over there, sir. Izuku immediately sprints into the bathroom as everyone else watches confused. Little kid. Mama, what's the doggy doing? Lady. I'm not sure, honey. After a minute of total silence, Izuku sprinted out of the bathroom, past his table, and out the door like a green blur. It took a moment for everyone to process what just happened. Manager. You shitty brat, get back here and pay for all the food you ate. Waiter. Manager. Manager. What is it? Waiter. I was looking over that person's table when The waiter holds out their hand, and a bright light seems to emanate from it. This causes the manager to cover their eyes from the blinding light. The manager slowly opens his to an unbelievable sight. Waiter. Found this soap bar-shaped diamond. Manager. Nani. Meanwhile, with Izuku. Izuku. Sure hope it was enough to pay for all that. Although even if it wasn't, there's no way they can catch me, shishi. As Izuku ran, he jumped in the air and turned into his wolf form to continue running. Izuku. I can't wait to see what other fun things are in the city. One time skip later. Izuku can be seen standing in a tunnel in his human form with a drained look on his face. He then goes down on his knees in a defeated position. Izuku. I got lost, I didn't think that cities would be so confusing. All those weird signs, flashy people and kids grabbing my tail, it's so irritating. Izuku sighs before he suddenly narrows his eyes. He begins sniffing the air around him. Suddenly, his tail straightens and eyes widen before he covers his nose. Izuku. Something stinks. Flesh suit, size large. Lucky me. Izuku turns around hearing a voice and tries to defend himself, but he gets covered by a green slime monster. Izuku. What the hell is this? It stinks to high hell, it's in my mouth. Sludge monster. Thanks kid, your body will make the perfect invisibility suit. You're my hero. Izuku continues to struggle to get free from the green sludge, but stops when he sees the slime cover his locket. His eyes widen as he gains a neutral expression on his face. The slime monster pays no mind to Izuku until he hears the sound of crackling. Dead off. The slime monster's eyes scan the area as he seems to hear a voice in his head. He keeps scanning until he again hears the sound of cracking and sees what appears to be a spark of green electricity go past his eye. He then slowly looks down at Izuku as Izuku starts tilting his head upwards. The monster flinches when he sees Izuku's rage-filled eyes. The sound of cracking grows louder as Izuku seems to be glowing brighter and brighter. Izuku. Get off. Izuku lets off a large amount of green electricity from his body. The tunnel lights up as the slime monster is consumed by the electricity. Slime monster. The slime monster, unable to handle the electricity, explodes and gets splattered across the walls of the tunnel. Izuku, at the center of the mess, stands completely clean as his glow fades. He grips his necklace as he looks at the splattered monster. Izuku. Don't touch my locket, shitpole. Izuku transforms into his wolf form and exits the tunnel. Unbeknownst to Izuku, someone had seen everything from the manhole. The manhole gets lifted as a muscular figure crawls out from it. That was such an incredible display of power. Just who was that young man, and how does he have more than one quirk? Could it be? Yet another time skip. Izuku was sitting on the edge of a building with his locket in his hand. He stared at it for a while before opening it to reveal a picture of two people and a baby in a hospital. His eyes focus on the faces of the two adults. Izuku. Where are you, Mama, Papa? Izuku keeps on staring for a while before closing the locket. Izuku. Can I really be a hero? What would you tell me? Ragni says I can be one, but after my outburst there I wish you could just tell me what I should do. His memories take him back to the day he asked Ragdoll about his parents. Flashback. Ragdoll. You want to know about your parents? Izuku. Yeah, what they like. Where are they? Ragdoll looks at Izuku with a knowing and sorrowful expression. As soon as Izuku takes notice of this, she puts on a smile, although Izuku can tell that it's not genuine. Ragdoll. I'm sorry Izuku. I don't really know anything about your parents. Izuku becomes disappointed hearing Ragdoll say this. He wanted to know about his human family ever since he understood that he was born as a human. Izuku felt at home with the hussy cats, Luna, Ace, and Katori. He considers them to be his family, but he still wants to know about his birth family. Izuku, still disappointed, feels a hand petting his head. He looks up to see Ragdoll still smiling at him. Ragdoll. I'm sure of one thing though. I know that they loved you dearly. If they didn't, they wouldn't have given you a name or that locket. Like any parents, I'm sure they had high hopes for you. You may not know where they are, but you can make them proud wherever they may be. You can do that by using the power they gave you to help people. I'm sure they'd want you to do that too. Izuku. Ragni. Ragdoll. Izuku, I know you'll make a fine hero one day. Your parents are probably proud of you for just trying to be one. Izuku. Ragni thanks. Ragdoll, you're welcome Izuku. End of flashback. Grasping his locket firmly, Izuku presses it against his heart. Izuku. I swear I'll find you one day. I'll make you both proud by becoming the hero you would have wanted me to be. Izuku puts his necklace back on before jumping off the building and landing on a trash can. Izuku. Guess I better find Tiganai and get the yelling over with. Izuku sniffs the air and picks up Tiger's scent. He walks in the direction of the scent but stops when he picks up a different and somehow familiar scent. Izuku. The smell. It's so familiar, it kinda smells like. Izuku's thoughts get cut off by a nearby explosion. Izuku. Again. This sort of thing happens a lot in the city doesn't it? Might as well check it out. Curious, Izuku heads towards the source of the explosion to find another crowd gathered. Looking past the crowd, he could see the slime villain from earlier going on a rampage. Izuku. That slime bastard. So he can still move after taking that much electricity. Izuku looks to see Kamui rescuing people, Backdraft putting out fires, Death Arms trying to fight the slime, and Montana. Lady just standing there. Izuku. These guys aren't doing any damage to that living shit pile. I wonder why they haven't tried shocking it. Well whatever, I'm not in the mood and this isn't my problem, so I'll just go. Izuku is about to walk away until his attention is caught by the slime monster creating an explosion. Izuku. Could it do that before? Izuku focuses his sight on the slime monster. His eyes widen when he notices a girl with ash blonde hair caught in the slime. Izuku. It's got a girl hostage. He can see her struggling against the monster's hold. Izuku. It's because I didn't finish him off. It's because of me that all this destruction happened. It's because of me that she's in this mess. Her head turns to face the crowd. She opens her eyes to reveal them trembling. The look in her eyes causes Izuku's heart to start beating rapidly. Without even thinking, Izuku bursted through the crowd and started running towards the slime monster. This caught the civilians, pros, and a certain blonde-haired individual by surprise. Izuku. I have to save her. Montana. Lady. That kid. Death Arms. Idiot stop. The slime monster focuses its attention on Izuku who's running directly at him. The girl weakly opens her eyes and looks at Izuku. Slime monster. That brat. Goo. Izuku. I swore on that day. The past flashes before Izuku's eyes as he remembers the day he lost his pack. The feeling of helplessness and failure as pack leader haunting him to this day. Izuku. That I'd never. The training he went through from that day onward, the pain he pushed through in order to grow stronger so he could protect his remaining family. All of it came together in this one moment. Izuku. Let anyone die in front of me ever again. Slime monster. Die in an explosion. The slime monster swings the girl's arm at Izuku as small explosions start going off in her hand. Izuku sees this and jumps over the attack. He then drop kicks the monster in his eye. The force of the kick sends the monster flying back. As the monster recovers from the kick, he notices that the girl is missing from his grasp. Slime monster. What? Where did she? What the hell? The slime monster stares at Izuku and is shocked to see the girl wrapped in his one arm, which is now a gray tentacle with green suction cups. Izuku's arm changes back to normal as he's now holding the girl princess style. The girl looks up at Izuku and can see him looking down at her with a serious expression. Izuku. You okay? The girl blushes while her face contrastingly begins to grow angrier and angrier. Izuku looks at her confused before she pushes her foot against his face. Who the hell said I needed your help? Izuku. Huh? I saved you, you twerp. Slime monster. You shitty, little brat. The slime monster begins throwing pieces of rubble at Izuku and the girl. Izuku jumps back to avoid the attacks with the girl still in his arms. He jumps back again and places the girl on the ground. Izuku. Stay safe. Wait. Izuku ignores the girl and runs back into the fight as the monster continues to throw chunks of debris at him. Izuku skids across the ground before coming to a stop and punching his fist into the ground. The ground begins to crack as the earth bursts out from underneath and forms a stone wall to block the debris. Shocked, the slime monster stops throwing rubble as the wall turns back into earth. The girl, pros and civilians stare shocked at seeing Izuku's seemingly multiple quirks. Izuku. No escape. Izuku places both his hands onto the ground. His hands turn blue as the ground seems to start freezing. The slime monster starts panicking as his body gets frozen to the ground. Slime monster. How are you doing this? What the hell are you? Izuku. Izuku stands up while keeping his head down. He looks up to stare the monster in the eyes and clutches his fist proudly. Izuku. A human. The slime monster grows enraged and begins throwing flaming chunks of rock at Izuku. Slime monster. Screw you. Izuku swings his arm and creates another stone wall to block the rocks. At the same time, a stone wall appears right behind the slime monster close enough that it's pressed up against his back. The wall starts freezing as well, which causes the slime monster to get stuck to it. Slime monster. Crap, I'm stuck. Izuku. This is the end. Green markings begin appearing on Izuku's arms as his torso seems to be growing larger. Izuku. Beast Fang. Izuku's torso continues to grow as his arms appear to grow hair. In the next moment, Izuku's torso transforms into that of a gorilla with green markings all over it. His shirt burst into pieces with only his locket remaining intact. Izuku. Guerrilla warfare. Everyone watching is utterly speechless at what's going on in front of them. Izuku begins walking, then dashing towards the slime monster. As he's running, his right fist seems to begin generating snow and frost. The slime monster tries his hardest to break free, but he cannot escape. Izuku stops on his left foot right in front of the slime monster with his right arm cocked back. Izuku. Blizzard Kong. Izuku brings his fist forward and punches the slime monster with all his might. The winds generated from the punch causes the heroes and people to cover their eyes and hold onto something to stop themselves from getting blown away. Kamui hangs onto a pole and stops several people from flying away with his branches while Montana Lady is covering several people from the wind. When the winds die down, everyone can see an amazing sight. The fires were all put out and snow can be seen falling from the sky. In the center of it all, Izuku is standing in front of a giant glacier that covers half of the shopping district. The slime monster can be seen inside frozen mid-splatter. Montana Lady. No way. Kamui. This is incredible. F-arms. Who is this kid? Izuku's torso begins turning back to normal as his markings fade away. The girl from earlier snaps out of her daze and begins stomping angrily towards Izuku. Hey you mangy mud, how the hell is an extra like you so strong? Izuku. What you call me, shitty hair? Who you calling shitty hair, you useless pile of crap? Izuku. You weak, ugly ass hussy cat. The two get up in each other's faces and their yelling causes the pros to snap out of it. They begin running towards Izuku and the girl. F-arms. Hey you kids. Backdraft. We need to have a word with you. Izuku and the girl look at the pros confused before Izuku realizes what he's done. Izuku. Shit, I used my power in public. I better get out of here before things get worse. Izuku's arms transform into large green wings and he begins to take off. The girl only notices that Izuku's gone when she sees him flying in the sky. Hey, I'm not done with you yet, get back here. F-arms. Hey, we need to question you, come back. Izuku. Later. Izuku flies off into the distance while everyone can only watch his figure literally fade away as in turn invisible. F-arms. He can turn invisible too. Damn you, Fleabag, this isn't over. Meanwhile with Izuku. Izuku is currently flying through the air invisible. As soon as he finds himself in the clear, Izuku uncloaks. Izuku. Ugh, I thought going to the city would cheer me up, but it's just been exhausting as hell. Can't believe I'm gonna have to live in a place like this soon. At least then food was nice. Izuku continues to fly forward but stops when some muscular blonde guy jumps up from the ground and appears in front of him. Excuse me, young man. Izuku. What the? The muscular man falls back to the ground as Izuku hovers in the air watching him. Immediately, the man jumps back up to Izuku. I'd like to have a word with you. The man falls back to the ground as Izuku continues to stare. Curious, Izuku descends to the ground and lands in front of the man as his wings turn back into arms. Izuku? Who you? Ahaha, I can see that you're not from around here. Allow me introduce myself. I am the hero known as All My Blurg. The man starts vomiting blood mid-sentence and deflates into a skeletal figure. Izuku? What the hell? Cough, sorry about that. Izuku? Is okay. You alright? I'm fine, that was just something from a few years ago. Anyways, I am All Might, the No. 1 hero. Izuku? Whoa, No. 1? All Might? Yes, I am. Izuku? Cool, so, what you want? All Might? Getting straight to the point, huh? I like it. I'm here to make you an offer. I saw what you did earlier. How you ran in to save that girl. Izuku looks down as he knows that he was the cause of the situation initially. Izuku? My fault. I didn't finish it off before. My fault this happened. My fault she got captured. All Might. Yet you still ran in to rescue her. You took responsibility for your mistake, something most heroes don't do. Not only that, you captured the villain. I could see it in your eyes, your heroic spirit. Izuku? Heroic spirit. All Might. Top heroes have stories about them from their school days. Most of their stories have one thing in common. Their bodies moved before they had a chance to think. Izuku thinks back to the moment in question. He remembers how he jumped in without even realizing it. Izuku? It's true, all I could think about was saving that girl. I even used my powers in public. All Might. That was true for you, too, wasn't it? Izuku? Yeah. All Might. I knew it. Young man, what you did today was something only a true hero would do. All Might smiles as Izuku can't help but feel his chest tighten up from hearing that. He clenches his locket tightly. Tears start falling from his eyes. Ragdoll's words echo in his head. I'm sure they had high hopes for you. Izuku, I know you'll make a fine hero one day. Izuku? What's this feeling? All Might. Young man. The wind blows as cherry blossoms carry through the air. Izuku gets down on his knees while still clutching his locket. His tears were flowing. He cries even harder as the words he wanted to hear from his parents were spoken. All Might. You can become a hero. Starting line. All Might. You can be a hero. These words from the one hero were still reaching out to the crying green-haired child. All Might. Yes, I believe you are worthy of inheriting my power. Izuku wipes away his tears before looking up at All Might with a confused look. Izuku? What am I doing getting emotional? Your power? All Might. Indeed, my quirk is a secret. The media have thought of it to be super strength or a power augmenting quirk. And I always avoid the question with a joke during interviews. The reason I do that is because the symbol of peace, All Might, has to come off as a natural born hero. All Might throws his head back while spreading his arms out to the side. All Might. But in truth, my quirk was passed down to me like an Olympic torch. Izuku? Whoa, really? All Might. Yes, really, and now it may be your turn. Izuku? My turn. All Might holds his hand out at Izuku. A spectrum of light seems to emanate from his hand. All Might. The ability to transfer power, that's the quirk I inherited. It's called One for All. Izuku? One for All. All Might. The first person cultivates the power and then passes it to another. The next refines it and passes it on again. In this way, those crying out to be saved and those with brave and true hearts link to form a crystalline network of power. Izuku? Amazing, but why me? All Might. I've been searching for a successor for a while now, and I believe that you are worthy of becoming the ninth holder. You may be young and reckless. A child who relies on instinct alone. But back there, you were more heroic than anyone else, but of course, it all still depends on what you have to say, so what do you say? Izuku stares at All Might in amazement from hearing these words of praise come from the one hero. After a few moments of just staring, Izuku smiles with enthusiasm and his tail starts wagging with excitement. Izuku? Am I seriously hesitating? If I want to be a hero, then I need to grow as strong as I possibly can. Yeah, ycats. Izuku? All Might flinches and dread grows on Izuku's face as they both hear a deep and angered voice. Izuku then feels a pair of muscular arms grab him from behind. He looks over his shoulder to see an extremely enraged tiger. Izuku? Ataganai? Tiger? You little brat. Tiger then proceeds to German suplex Izuku. Izuku screams in pain while All Might's sweat drops at the sight. Izuku? Ow 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 ow. Tiger? You little idiot, not only did you sneak out of the base without permission, you used your powers in public, on live television. Izuku? Ah, it hurts, help, All Might. Tiger's rage drops and All Might coughs up blood as his secret was so easily revealed. Tiger? All Might? Are you referring to this man over here? Wait, how do you even know that name? Izuku? He said that his name. He was big person then transformed into that. All Might. Young child, how could you just expose my secret like that? Izuku. Huh, it was secret. It then dawned upon All Might that he had neglected to tell this child, who had no idea of who he was, that his skeletal appearance was a secret. All Might. I had forgotten to take this child's intelligence into account. I was careless. Tiger. Who are you, old man? And why did he call you All Might? All Might. Old. Well, I suppose there's no easy way of getting around this now. Tiger. Right. I recognize you as a rescue hero. It is as your boy says. I am All Might, hahaha blurg. All Might said as he transformed into his buff form before coughing up blood and turning back to normal. Tiger. My god, you really are All Might. But, why do you look like that? And what are you doing with this young pup? All Might. In regards to my appearance, I'll explain in detail later. But for now, I wish to speak of this child's future. Tiger. His future. All Might. I saw this child's actions earlier firsthand. From them I could see that he has the potential to become a top-tier hero. So I wish to train him and refine his power. I believe he has already decided to take me up on my offer. But it seems I must now ask for you to allow me. Tiger. You wish to train him? Coming from you, that certainly is the offer of a lifetime. However, I'm afraid that I cannot make that decision. All Might. What? Tiger. If you wish to train the child, then you need not ask me. You'll have to ask his mother. Izuku. Mother. Tiger. I mean Ragdoll. Izuku. Oh, Ragni. All Might. I'm not exactly comfortable with revealing myself to other people like this. Tiger. Trust me, while she may be incredibly childish, she's never made a bad judgment of character. And she knows how to keep a secret. And I'm sure you're curious of this child's power. If she ends up trusting you, then she'll tell you about it. Izuku. I thought power was secret. Tiger. We discovered his secret, so it's only fair for us to reveal ours. Izuku. Oh, I see. All Might. Indeed, I'm curious about his power. For one child to possess so many different abilities, it's abnormal. I wish to confirm something about his quirk. Whether it's what I think it is or not. Time skip. All Might, Izuku, and the other hussy cats are seen sitting around the kitchen table. Izuku is sitting next to Ragdoll in his wolf form, along with his two wolf siblings. Ragdoll. Well, that's quite the amazing offer you're giving to Izuku, All Might. Pixie Bob. I'm still having a hard time believing you're who you say you are. Tiger. I know it's hard to take in, but he is All Might. I saw him transform myself. All Might. I'm sure you have questions regarding my physical appearance, and I'm willing to answer them. Ragdoll. No, there's no need. All Might. Huh. Aren't you the least bit curious? Ragdoll. No, not really. My quirk allows me to know everything about anyone. All Might. Ragdoll. And I do mean everything. But don't worry, your secrets are safe with me. All Might. This woman is more dangerous than I thought. In that case, let's just get to the point. Your boy has outstanding potential as a hero. I ask that you allow me to train him so that he can bring out that potential. Mandalay. So, what do you say, Ragdoll? Ragdoll. Izuku, do you really want this? Izuku. Ragni. I want to be hero. Have to get stronger. Strong enough to save everyone. Ragdoll. Smile, I see. Then you have no need to ask for my permission. If Izuku wants to do it, then he can. All Might. Arigato, I'll make sure your trust in me is well placed. Ragdoll. Oh, but you'll need to wait a day or two before you start training him. He's going to be moving into Musatafu, so he'll be closer to UA High School. All Might. UA, huh. There's about 10 months until the entrance exam. I'll make sure that he's ready for it. Ragdoll. Please do. Now then, Izuku, Luna, Ace, you three should go to bed. Izuku. Huh, why? Ragdoll. You three are going to have a busy day of moving tomorrow, so you'll need a lot of sleep. Besides, we'll just be speaking of boring adult stuff, you'll probably doze off anyways. Izuku. Well, okay then. Ace, Luna, let's head to bed. A and L. Okay. Izuku and his two siblings proceed to leave the room. Once they exit, Ragdoll turns to look at All Might with a semi-serious expression. Ragdoll. Now then, it's about time we speak about Izuku's secret, isn't it? All Might. Why did you make him leave? It's his secret after all. Tiger. Izuku is aware of his power, but not of the whole truth surrounding it. All Might. What do you mean? Pixie Bob. We'll explain it all to you. But Izuku can't know about anything we're about to tell you. And so, the four proceed to reveal the truth about Izuku to All Might. From the almost limitless possibilities of Izuku's quirk to the death of his parents and how the two could be linked. After hearing all of it, All Might was in disbelief. All Might. To think he went through all that without even knowing. Ragdoll. It's truly devastating. It's painful to keep this a secret from Izuku, but it's necessary to ensure he doesn't stray from his path to being a hero. All Might. I understand. And I will not mention any of this to young Izuku. But. All Might grips his hands and bulks up into his muscular form. He looks at the four in front of him with his black and blue eyes. All Might. I will get to the bottom of what happened to them. And bring whoever was behind it to justice. Ragdoll, thank you All Might. I'll be waiting to see how far you can take Izuku. The next day. Tiger and Izuku are loading several heavy boxes onto the back of the truck. Mandalay and Pixie Bob are standing behind the truck watching while Ragdoll is busy on her phone. Ace and Luna are waiting atop the truck's roof. Izuku and Tiger finish loading a large box and jump off the back of the truck. Tiger. Alright, that's the last of the boxes. Ragdoll, did you notify your friend yet? Ragdoll. Yeah, I told her we're on our way. Mandalay. Izuku, you better come and visit whenever you get lonely. Pixie Bob. And try not to cause too much trouble. We don't want another incident like yesterday. Izuku. I'll try not to. Mandalay. Do more than just try. Pixie Bob. Sweat drop, is he really gonna be alright? Tiger. Let's get a move on. It'll take us a while to get there and set your stuff up. Izuku. Okay, Ace, Luna, it's time to Izuku was saying before he noticed something from out the corner of his eye. He looks back to the base and can see Katori peeking out from behind the entrance door. The second she notices him noticing her, she immediately pulls back inside. Seeing this, Izuku frowns sadly from her silent hatred. Izuku. Ace, come here for a second. Ace confusingly tilts his head to the side before moving to Izuku. Ace. What is it, Aniki? Izuku. I want you to stay here for me. Ace. Why? Izuku. If all three of us leave, then Katori will be lonely. She bears no ill will against you. So please, watch over her. Ace. Alright, Aniki. I'll look out for her. Izuku, thanks Ace. Small time skip. After a long drive, the group finally arrive at their destination. A small modern house located amongst other similar looking houses. Izuku. This new home? Ragdoll. Yep, this is your new home starting today. Tiger. By the way, Ragdoll. You said your friend was a hero who worked at UA. What kind of person is she? Ragdoll. She's a caring and thoughtful person who's always eager to help. She also likes animals and kids, so she's perfect for taking care of Izuku and Luna. And since she's a teacher, we don't have to worry about Izuku's education. Tiger. She sounds perfect. But, knowing you, there's probably something you're forgetting to tell me. Ragdoll. I don't think there is. Tiger's still skeptical. Ragdoll, Luna, and Izuku walk to the front door of the house. After ringing the doorbell, the door opens, and the four are greeted by an attractive black-haired woman. It's about time you guys showed up. I started thinking you guys weren't gonna show. Ragdoll. Sorry about that, Kayama. We ran into a bit of trouble on the road. Kayama. Well, you guys did get here in one piece, so that's fine. Luna. Izuku Nai, who's this person? Izuku. I think she's the person we'll be staying with. Kayama. So this is the Izuku you've told me so much about. It's nice to meet you. I'm Namuri Kayama. Izuku. Namuri Kayama. Kaya, ni. Kayama. Is that what you want to call me? Well, that's fine by me. And, who's this cute little wolf? Izuku. Baby sister, Luna. Kayama. Oh, I suppose that makes sense. You two can rely on me for whatever you need or want, K. Izuku and Luna. KK. Ragdoll. Looks like they've already taken a liking to you. Tiger. Oi, Ragdoll. Ragdoll. What is it? Tiger. That's the 18+ heroine, Midnight. Ragdoll. Yeah, what about it? Tiger. Why didn't you tell me she was your friend? Ragdoll. I didn't think it'd matter. Tiger. Of course, it'd matter. He can't learn to be a hero if he's constantly under temptation. Kayama. How rude. I'll have you know that kids like him are off limits to me. Ragdoll. And the only thing Izuku can be tempted with is food. Tiger. Well, I can't deny that. Kayama. Izuku, Luna, let me show you two to your new room. Kayama takes Izuku by the hand and leads him and Luna to their new room. Izuku. Whoa, so big. Kayama. I'm glad you like it. Make yourselves as comfortable as you want in here. Izuku. This is my new beginning. Tomorrow I'll take my first step towards becoming a hero. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. The next day. All Might. Hey, this fridge makes for a pretty nice ride. Although I'd appreciate it if you picked up the pace. All Might said as he referred to the fridge he was sitting on that Izuku was pulling. Izuku. Shut up, you heavy as hell. All Might. Oh come now, I'm only 255 kilos. You should be able to handle that. Izuku. I could with Quirk but you say I can't, what the point to this? All Might. It's to make you into the perfect vessel. All Might said as he jumped off from the fridge and snapped a picture of Izuku with his phone. Izuku. But you said. All Might. Don't get me wrong. I stand by my choice of you as my successor, and while you do have great mastery of your quirk, it's your body we're going to be working on. Izuku. My body. All Might. Yes, one for all is the accumulation of the peak strength of the previous holders, as well as my own. A weak body wouldn't be able to handle it, and as a result, their limbs would probably blow off. Izuku. All Might. And while I can see that you've trained your body well already, you still haven't reached your pinnacle. Izuku. So clean up trash for workout. All Might. Exactly, but that's not all. I found this seaside park yesterday on the internet. Trash has washed up here and accumulated over the years. You know, these days all heroes care about is being flashy. But true heroics are about labors of love. All Might says as he proceeds to crush a fridge with his bare hands. He then proceeds to hand Izuku several pieces of paper. All Might. My boy, with this American dream plan that I've made for you, you'll bring this horizon back to life and be able to become the perfect vessel. Of course, the training will be pretty damn hard. Are you up to the challenge? Izuku. He's even got my sleep scheduled out. To clear this training in 10 months will be hell. But, I'm getting excited to grow stronger, bring it on, I can take it. All Might. That's what I like to hear. And thus begins Izuku's 10 months of hellish training. His days became filled with vigorous workouts and studying. He had information and widespread knowledge of various subjects drilled into him by midnight. Training his body was much more strenuous compared to training his mind though. His first few months involved him lifting and moving massive and heavy pieces of garbage without the use of his quirk. Midnight had updated his diet based on the eating plan he received from All Might. Another part of his training involved him swimming to build up his muscles. This led him to start diving down to clean up sunken trash. Feeling the urge to push himself even further, Izuku snuck out during the night to clean up the garbage. His strength had at this point developed enough so that he could give All Might piggyback rides. Seeing how fast he was progressing, All Might began engaging in mock battles with Izuku and started upping his training's difficulty. He started adding weights to the already heavy garbage and made Izuku do even more strenuous activities, such as one-handed handstand push-ups with him standing on Izuku's feet. 5 months until the exam. Izuku and All Might are engaging in a sparring match on the beach. Izuku had used his quirk to create a sand wall to conceal them from walkers by. Izuku is currently tanking punches from All Might. All Might throws a punch to the face that Izuku manages to dodge. Upon dodging, however, Izuku falls down to the ground panting. All Might. Hey, what's the matter? There's only 5 months left, you won't be able to make it this rate, boy, you gonna give up now? Take a day off. Get some beauty sleep. Izuku. All Might stops yelling as he notices Izuku gripping the sand with his shaking hand. All Might. Overwork. You're not following the plan, are you, kid? You're overdoing it, you're pushing against your body's limit. If you keep doing what you're doing, there's no way you'll pass. Izuku. It's not enough. All Might. What the are you speaking to my mind? Izuku. I want to be a hero, I have to be strong enough to protect everyone. Izuku plants his hand onto the sand beneath him. He then manages to push himself onto his feet. His body is thrown back from the momentum, but he pulls himself straight and holds up his fists. Izuku. I will surpass you, I'll become even stronger than the strongest hero, so bring it on, Yagi-sensei. All Might. This child, hahaha, you cheeky kid, you're really obsessive about this, although I can't say I don't like it. All Might laughs as he proceeds to throw another flurry of punches at Izuku. Izuku, however, manages to dodge with ease and lands a punch to All Might's face. He then falls forward and is caught by All Might. All Might. Amazing, he read my moves and managed to land a blow, not bad, young boy. But, you should leave your training plan to me. Don't worry, this old man'll revise the plan for you. Izuku. If my body can't keep up, then I'll make it so that it can. I need a body without limits. I need a hero's body. 6 a.m., the day of the entrance exam. All Might can be seen pulling up to the beach in a pickup truck. He exits the vehicle with a yawn, but his attention is shifted to the loud noise he starts hearing. Focusing, he can identify the noise as a sort of primal roar. Birds can be seen flying in the direction of the noise, and several other animals like dogs, cats, and various reptiles are running and slithering to the source as well. All Might looks in the direction they're heading and sees the animals, as well as a wolf, sitting in front of a giant pile of trash. All Might looks at the top of pile and can see Izuku standing on top, bare-chested, bathed in the sunlight and roaring with all his might. All Might. No way, there's more garbage here than there was on the whole beach. He went as far as to collect the sunken trash. I can't even see a single scrap on the sand. You crossed the finish line and beyond just in time. Oh my goodness. Izuku yells once more before starting to fall. All Might manages to catch him in his arms before he ends up falling. All Might. You've earned yourself a rest. Izuku. Yagi-sensei, I made it. Luna. Well done, Izuku Nai. All Might. And you did an astounding job of it, especially for a teenager. Here, look at this. All Might says as he holds up his phone to Izuku. Izuku. What's this? All Might. This was you 10 months ago. You've done really great since then. All Might yelled as he referred to Izuku, who now stands at a height of 7'2", with toned and defined muscles, along with 10-pack abs. All Might. You've only just started on the path that lies ahead, but you're more than capable of vessel. Honestly, it's almost like I'm looking at a mirror. Izuku. I feel like I cheated. Yagi-sensei did so much for me, crying I don't deserve this. All Might. What's this? He doesn't realize, does he? That it was all him. Since when are you such a crybaby? You've earned this, Midoriya. Izuku. All Might says as he proceeds to pluck a hair from his head. All Might. This is the result of 10 months of busting your ass and shattering your body's limiter. Stand tall and puff out your chest. This power is now rightfully yours. All Might then pushes the hair into Izuku's face. All Might. Now eat this. Izuku. Huh. All Might. Technically the way you take in my DNA doesn't matter, but time's running out now. Hurry up and eat it. Izuku. Huh, wait, Time skip. Izuku can be seen standing in front of the prestigious UA Academia. Izuku. Pant, I made it. Izuku takes a minute to catch his breath before walking towards the building. He pays no mind to the various people staring and whispering about him. He's huge. Girl. Look at that tail and ears. Is that his Quirk? Other guy. Hey, isn't that the guy from the sludge monster incident? Other girl. No way, he wasn't as big as this guy. He then clutches his stomach as remembers swallowing the hair. Izuku. Thinking about that still makes me feel sick. I swear to God, if he actually made me eat that thing as a joke, then I'm really going to. Move aside, mountain boy. Izuku. The hell you call me? Izuku turns around to look at the one yelling at him. He looks down to see a familiar blonde-haired girl. The girl looks up to see Izuku's face. They both stare at each other in silence for a moment. Their eyes then widen as they recognize each other. Izuku and girl. You. Girl. You're that mangy mutt from the sludge incident. Izuku. You shitty hair girl from back then. Girl. The hell are you calling shitty hair, you useless flea bag, and how'd you get so huge? Izuku. I trained like hell and I know flea bag. Izuku pulls his locket out from around his neck and shoves his engraved name into her face. Izuku. Izuku Midoriya. Girl. Izuku, that name certainly suits you, Deku. Izuku. I twitch you calling Deku. Girl. Smirk, don't be so mad, it's literally written right into your name. Now let's make one thing straight, Deku. You may be strong, but at the end of the day I, Kitsumi Bakugo, will stand above you. Izuku. TCH, whatever you say, Cat-chan. Kitsumi. Angry, who are you calling Cat-chan? Izuku. Smirk, don't be so mad, it's literally written right into your name. Kitsumi glares angrily at Izuku, who glares back at her. They continue to do this until they both scoff and turn their heads. Kitsumi walks into the building while Izuku regains his composure. Izuku. She really gets on my nerves. Why is it that all the girls my age are either afraid of me or are total jackasses? I need a drink to cool my head. Izuku reaches into his bag as he too starts walking to the building. While walking, Izuku's foot gets tripped by his other one and he begins falling as a result. Izuku. Curse you, feet. Before making contact with the ground, Izuku starts hovering in the air. Izuku looks around confused before hearing a female voice. Are you okay? Izuku looks to the source of the voice to see a brown-haired girl with rosy cheeks. Izuku stares at the girl as she helps him onto his feet. Girl. Sorry about using my quirk on you. I just figured it'd be bad luck if you tripped. Izuku does nothing but stare at the girl as she continues talking. Girl. I'm so nervous. I bet you are too. Well, good luck later. Izuku watches the girl walk inside the building with an astonished look on his face. His tail starts wagging as a warm feeling starts forming in his chest. Izuku. She's such a nice person. Shaking off the warm feeling, Izuku heads inside the building. First came the written exam. For this, Izuku spent the majority of the allocated time sleeping. This earned quite a few jeers and snickers from his peers. After all of that, Izuku makes it inside the building's auditorium where he's seated next to Kitsumi. Irritation is clearly present on both their faces. At that moment, the announcer, Present Mick, addresses everyone. Present Mick. Welcome one and all to my live show, everybody say he. Complete silence fills the room as President Mick is left hanging. Until of course. Izuku. He. A short silence follows as President Mick feels shocked from hearing someone reply. PM. Wiping a tear, thank you, young listener. It's good to see someone here has enthusiasm. Anyways, let's move on to the rules. President Mick says as he goes on to explain the exam and its rules. While listening, Izuku takes a sip from his drink and checks his exam ticket. He then shifts his gaze over to Katsumi's and sees they were designated to different districts. Izuku. Serial numbers yet different areas. Katsumi. They're stopping us from cooperating with people we're already associated with. That's too bad. I was really looking forward to whooping your ass. Izuku. As if you could, shorty. Katsuki. I could easily do so, Deku. Izuku. This coming from girl whose ass I saved, Kat-chan. And you too, the boy with the dog ears and girl with spiky hair. Izuku and Katsumi look to the source of the ruckus to see a blue-haired boy with glasses glaring at them. You two have been chattering this whole time, it's distracting. If you're both here to joke around then you should leave immediately. After saying that, the boy is then promptly met with a soda can to the head. Ow. Izuku and Katsumi. Shut up, you're irritating. DM. Calm down, little listeners. And as for you 7111, the fourth type of faux villain is worth 0 points. There's one in every area that serves as an obstacle. They go crazy in narrow spaces and there's absolutely no merit to taking them down, so it's probably best to just avoid them. D. Thank you very much, I'm sorry for interrupting. DM. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to the main event. I hope you all gladly suffer the trials ahead of you and as the school motto says, go beyond plus ultra. After that, the students are transported to the various battlegrounds. Izuku stands in front of the gates to the giant faux city after having switched into his battle clothes. He didn't have much clothes that fit his large size, so he wore a simple pair of green shorts and a black tank top he borrowed from All Might. Izuku yawns as he grows tired from waiting for the exam to start. Izuku. So tired and hungry. I should have eaten more back home. Suddenly, Izuku notices the brown-haired girl from earlier doing some sort of warm-up. Izuku. It's the nice person. I should thank her for earlier. Izuku begins walking towards the girl but stops as he feels a hand grab his shoulder. He turns around to see the blue-haired guy from earlier. She appears to be trying to focus. Are you trying to interfere with her? Do you have no? The blue-haired boy freezes dead in his tracks when he sees the glare Izuku gives him. Izuku stares him down with a cold and serious expression that caused chills to flow over everyone else as well. Izuku. I just want to thank her, that's all. Suddenly, the large gates open up and President Mick's voice resounds. DM. Go. Without even a second of hesitation, Izuku dashes straight in. DM. What are you waiting for? There are no countdowns in real fights. Follow that wolf boy. The students snap to attention and follow after Izuku. Meanwhile, Izuku was already beginning to rack up points. Izuku. Ancient beast fang Therizino scythes. Izuku yells as his nails change into large sharp claws. He then leaps forward and slices through a group of one-pointers. Seeing another oncoming group of one-pointers, Izuku lifts up his leg and stomps it into the ground. This causes the earth underneath the road the bots were standing on to shoot up and launch the bots into the air. Izuku then jumps onto the side of a building before jumping off and slicing the bots mid-air. Izuku. Not enough, need more. Izuku lands back onto the ground and transforms his claws back to normal. Izuku then spots a lone two-pointer in the distance. He then smirks before getting in a lunging position. Izuku. Beast Fang Snow Leopard Bullet. Izuku's hair turns white as fur starts growing all over his body. His body then transforms into that of a snow leopard. Izuku leaps straight towards the two-pointer. While in the air, Izuku transforms back and changes his right arm into that of a gorilla. He then grabs the two-pointer by the tail and starts swinging it around like a doll. He tosses the bot into the air and prepares to finish it off. He is however cut off from doing so as the bot gets destroyed by a laser beam coming from a blonde boy. Mercy, nice team play there. Izuku. You steal my points. Nevertheless, it seems we shall not cross paths again. The blonde says as he starts running away. Several one and two-pointers take this opportunity to gather around Izuku. Izuku. I'm gonna make sure to get back at the blonde for that. But first I'm gonna thrash you all. Izuku yells as a large amount of green electricity emits from his body and short-circuits the bots. Meanwhile, with the judges. The judges are sitting in a dark room with several monitors showing each of the different facilities. In this practical exam, the examinees are unaware of how many faux villains there are or the locations of said villains. They are however aware that the R is vast and they only have a limited amount of time. To stay ahead, some may rely on their ability to gather information. One of the monitors zooms into an examinee with tentacles using his quirk to scan his surroundings. Their mobility. Another monitor focuses on the blue-haired boy from earlier using his speed to rack up points. Their ability to maintain composure. The blonde kid from earlier can be seen confidently shooting lasers to decimate several robots. Pure combat ability. The monitor reveals Katsumi surrounded by complete destruction as she laughed maniacally. Or primal instinct. The judges turn their focus to a monitor showing Izuku going up against a three-pointer. Izuku transforms into a wolf to dodge the incoming missiles. He runs forward and leaps into the air above the bot. He transforms back to normal, lands on the bot, and then bites its head off with shark-like teeth. Quite a savage one, that kid. Instinct alone won't get him anywhere though. True, but his test scores reveal that he has much more than just instinct at his disposal. Hayama. But of course, I've taught him well. Oh, he's that kid you were talking about, isn't he, Midnight? Hayama. Yeah, and he's got more than what it takes to pass. Is that so? Well then, I'd say it's about time we start the real test. The judge says as he presses a large red button. Back with Izuku. Izuku was sitting atop the destroyed bodies of several villain bots. Izuku. I've gathered myself round about 100 points now. I wonder if that's enough. I could probably get a few more. Although, I haven't really tried out my new quirk. I guess I should. Izuku's thoughts are interrupted as he can feel the ground rumbling. At that moment, one of the nearby buildings collapses. Izuku and the other examinees look up to see a green, eight-eyed robot of even greater size than the buildings. Izuku. Huge, that's the zero-pointer, why the hell is it so big? The massive robot punches into the ground and causes a massive wave of dust to blow over the examinees. With the fear of getting squashed on their minds, all the examinees, aside from Izuku, began running away for their lives. The blue-haired boy from earlier ran by Izuku and saw him staring at the bot. He shakes his head and continues to run past him. 2 minutes left. Izuku. 2 minutes. Guess I'll have to make do with the points I've got. Right now though I better run. Izuku turns around and is about to run, but stops when he hears a familiar voice. Ow. Izuku turns around to see the girl from earlier. Her leg was caught under a piece of rubble and she was in the path of the robot. Girl. I just figured it'd be bad luck if you tripped. Remembering the words the girl told him, Izuku's heart began beating faster. Izuku began walking towards the girl. He kept moving faster and faster until he was straight out running. There is absolutely no merit in taking on the faux villain. But it creates an opportunity for it to shine brightly. Izuku stops just in front of the bot and jumps up into the air with a newfound power surging into his legs. The girl and the other examinees turn to see Izuku rising to the bot. Izuku cocks his right arm back and transforms it into that of a gorilla. The arm bulks up as it too swells up with power. And rise to the surface. All might. Clench your asshole super tight and scream this word from the bottom of your heart. Izuku. Smash. Izuku yells as he punches the robot in the face, completely indenting it and causing it to begin exploding. All the other examinees stare completely in shock at Izuku's action. All might. That's right. It rises to the surface, the most important qualification of being a hero, the spirit of self-sacrifice. All Might says as the other judges around him begin celebrating the green-haired child's victory. Said green-haired child was currently still in the air. Izuku. This feeling, it's like when I saved Kat-chan. But somehow, it feels different. 1 minute left. Present Mick's voice causes Izuku to come back to his senses. Izuku then realizes that he's falling. Izuku. Ah, I'm falling. That's not a problem though. I'll just turn my arms into wings and… It is at this point that Izuku realizes that his legs and right arm were in fact broken. Izuku. Ah. He then looks down to see the ground approaching fast. Izuku. Phew. Izuku continues screaming and cussing as he continues to fall. Izuku. My bones broke, what the hell is this cause of Yagi-sensei's power? Wait, his power, that's it, if I use my other arm, I should be able to break my fall. I've got timed this just right though. Too early and it'll have no effect. But too late and I'll die. Wait, no. Before Izuku can fire off his punch, he gets slapped by the brown-haired girl from earlier. He then appears to float in the air. Girl. Our release. The girl says as she presses her fingertips against each other. This causes Izuku, as well as the piece of metal she's floating on, to drop to the ground. The girl then proceeds to barf as Izuku looks up to see her. Izuku. She saved me, she's safe, thank God. Time's up. It is at this point that Izuku passes out with a smile on his face. The other examinees begin gathering around the passed out child. Random guy. What the hell was that? Random girl. He sent that obstacle flying with just one hit. What was up with him though? Girl. Yeah, he looked like he had multiple quirks. No matter how you slice it, this guy's incredible. Blue hair. They're missing the point. Did they not notice? He jumped straight in to save that girl. He knew the risk to his own safety and score, yet he still jumped in. Of course, had this not been an exam I would have done the same weight exam. Of course. Alright kiddies, those of you who can walk can go home, I'll take care of the rest. And have some candies. The examinees turn their attention to a small old lady handing out candy. The lady walks up to Izuku. Backlash from your own quirk, huh? It's almost as if you just received it. She then puckers up her lip and kisses Izuku on the forehead. The others gag at the strange sight. Everyone. What's with this old lady? Blonde kid. The youthful heroine, recovery girl. It's because of her that UA can have such extravagant entrance exams. As he says this, Izuku's broken limbs get miraculously healed. RG. Alright, this boy should be sorted out. Are there any more injured kids to take care of? Blue hair. I see, so that's the true nature of the test after all, so he. 1 week later. Izuku can be seen sitting at the dinner table and staring at the fish head he's holding with his chopsticks. Payama. Izuku, why are staring at the fish? Are you alright? Izuku. I'm fine. Just zoned out. We now switch to Izuku's room where Luna and Izuku can be seen sitting on the bed. Izuku is lifting a dumbbell while Luna is sleeping. Izuku. It's been a week since the exam. I thought I would have heard back by now. Yagi-sensei hasn't contacted me either. Is this phone thing broken or something? At that moment, Izuku's room door swings open to reveal Midnight holding an envelope. Payama. Izuku, it's here. After a few moments, Izuku is left alone in the room sitting by his desk with the envelope. He takes a deep breath before opening the envelope. A metal disc falls out of the envelope and starts lighting up. A holographic screen then gets projected. All Might. I am here as a hologram. Izuku. Yagi-sensei. All Might. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. Anyways, I guess you're surprised to see me here, aren't you? Well guess what, I'm going to be a teacher at UA. Izuku. All Might. What's that, wrap it up. But I was in the middle of alright, yeesh. Young Midoriya, you ended the exam with 100 villain points. This alone makes you the highest scorer in the exam. That combined with the perfect score you got on the written exam means you undoubtedly pass. Izuku. Yes. All Might. Hold your celebrating though, because there's more. Izuku. Huh. All Might. I was an entertainer in my past life you know. Behold this screen. All Might says as the screen behind him starts playing video. The video reveals the brown-haired girl from before talking to present Mick. Girl. Excuse me. Izuku. It's the nice person. All Might. As soon as the exam ended, she petitioned to us directly. About what you ask. Let's keep watching. Girl. Sorry to bother you, but do you know the boy with curly hair and wolf ears? He's really big, muscly and kinda cool looking. Izuku, she means me. Girl. Do you think you could give some of my points to him? Izuku. Girl. He leaped head first in there to save me. He ended up injured because of me and lost an opportunity to get more points. Please at least give him the number of points he lost because of me. Izuku presses his hand against his chest as he feels his heart beating from her words. All Might. Much more than any quirk, it is your actions that have touched people. Girl. That boy saved my life. All Might. The judges were looking at more than just smashing robots for points. PM. Sorry little listener, you can't share your points. But, you wouldn't have to in the first place. All Might. Did you think a school for heroes would turn a blind eye to those who do the right thing? Perish the thought, call it cheesy if you want, laying your life on the line to do cheesy stuff is in a hero's job description, and as a reward for such actions, the judges have given out rescue points Midoriya Izuku. 60 rescue points and for the heck of it, Uraraka Ichako. 45 points. Izuku. No way. All Might. Now you can see how far your heroism brought you, come now, my boy, this is now your hero academia. Izuku. Smiling, yeah. At that moment, Izuku's bedroom door bursts open to reveal Midnight and Ragdoll with a giant cake. R&K. Congratulations, Izuku. Izuku. Kayani, Ragni. Payama. As a teacher at UA, I already knew about your acceptance. Ragdoll. And she told me about it. So we decided to throw you a surprise party to celebrate. Izuku. You guys. Payama. No need to thank us. Now, let's party. Izuku. Smile, yeah. 8 p.m, Dagaba Beach. All Might in his true form can be seen standing by his lonesome on the beach. After a short while, Izuku runs onto the beach towards All Might. Izuku. Oi, Yogi-sensei. All Might. Ah, my boy, congrats on passing. Izuku. Thanks. All Might. Just so you know, I wasn't one of the judges. I also didn't inform UA about my connection to you, so don't go thinking you got in on special treatment. Izuku. Oh, I see. Kinda shocked to hear you'd be teacher. All Might. I can imagine so. UA knows about my condition, but no one else does, so make sure to keep your lips tight. As for why I decided on working there, I wanted UA to notify me if they'd found a suitable successor. Izuku. Oh yeah, he said he was looking for a successor. Your power broke my bones. Why? All Might. It can't be helped. Think about this. If you ask a man who just sprouted a tail to do tricks with it, he wouldn't know how to control it properly enough to do so. It's the same situation here. Izuku. Wait, so you knew that'd happen? All Might. Well, there wasn't any time for, but hey, everything worked out alright, or should I say, All Might. Izuku. So lame. All Might. Picks up a can right now, you're either all or nothing. But with time, you can learn to adjust your power level to a point where it doesn't result in self-destruction. Basically, the more you build up the vessel, the more you can control the power within. Like this. All Might says as he bulks up and crushes the can in his hand. This unfortunately alerts a nearby couple to his presence. Hey, isn't that All Might? Girl. No way, when did he get here? All Might. And now we run. Izuku, yes sir. Izuku and All Might run away to avoid the two onlookers. While running, All Might looks back onto Izuku. All Might. The flame I passed onto you is still small, but it'll eventually be exposed to wind and rain and grow even bigger. And then, I will slowly become weak and disappear. Thus finishing my duty. Yeah, that's deep. April. Ragdoll. Izuku, did you pack in tissues? Izuku. Yeah. Ragdoll. What about school supplies? I hope you didn't just fill your bag with snacks. Izuku. I wouldn't do that, I gotta go now. Ragdoll. Izuku, wait. Izuku. What is it, Ragni? Ragdoll. Smile, you look really cool. We pan over to Izuku, who's standing in front of the front door in his new uniform. It was the standard UA long pants with a hole for his tail, his red sneakers, a sleeveless shirt with a red tie, and the standard sleeveless vest over it. Pretty much Shoji's uniform, of course. He wore his locket underneath his shirt as well. Izuku. Smile, thanks, see ya. Ragdoll. See ya. Izuku exits through the door, closing it behind him. He jumps in the air and transforms his arms into wings. He then makes his way towards UA. Later, at UA. Izuku can be seen running down a hallway looking for his classroom. Izuku. Wanna where the hell is it? Would they make this place so big? Izuku continues running until he comes across a large door with wanna written on it. Izuku. That's a huge door. Although that's kinda a good thing considering I hit my head against most door frames. Izuku grabs the door handle, but hesitates as he thinks about those on the other side of the door. Izuku. The people in this classroom, they're apparently the best of the best hero candidates. I wonder if I can make friends with them. I just hope I'm not in the same class as that shitty cat or blue-haired asshole. Izuku opens the door and is met with the sight of the two aforementioned people arguing against each other. Blue hair. Don't put your feet on the desk. Pitsumi. Huh? Blue hair. Don't you think that's rude to the upperclassmen and the people who made the desk? Pitsumi. Nope. What junior high did you go to, extra? Izuku. Goddamn my shitty luck. Iida. I attended Same Private Academy. My name is Iida Tenya. Pitsumi. Same. So you're a damn elite, huh? Looks like I'll have fun crushing you. Iida. So vulgar. Do you truly aim to be a hero? Pitsumi rolls her eyes in annoyance. She then notices Izuku, who she glares at. Izuku glares back at her in response. Iida sees Kitsumi's glaring and notices who she's glaring at. Iida. You are. The entire class shifts their attention to Izuku, who's standing in the door. Izuku notices the class noticing him and gives them all a two-finger salute in response as a greeting. Izuku. Yo. Iida. Good morning. Izuku turns his attention to Iida, who's approaching him with his elbows flailing everywhere. Iida. I am from Same Private Academy. My name is. Izuku. I heard. I'm Midoriya Izuku. Iida. Midoriya, you realized there was something more to the practical exam, didn't you? I had no idea. I misjudged you. I hate to admit it, but you are better than me. Izuku. This guy, he's actually a nice person, isn't he? I not realize anything. Just help someone in danger. Iida. Wait, you didn't even. You're more selfless than I thought. You truly are better than me. Izuku. You overvalue me. Pitsumi. Deku, that dumbass actually managed to get in. I can't accept this as. Oh, that hair and those ears, you're the cool looking one. Izuku turns around to see the girl from the video standing right behind him. He starts smiling and wagging his tail as he grows excited from seeing her again. Izuku. Ah, it's the nice person, she's so pretty in the uniform. Ichako. You passed, just like President Mick said, of course you did, your punch was amazing. Ichako. Break bree. Izuku. Is thanks to you, going speak to him. Ichako. Huh, how do you know about that? Izuku. They sent me video. Ichako. I didn't know they'd do that. Blushing, that makes me feel kind of embarrassed. Izuku. Nishishi, thanks for that. If you're here to make friends, then I suggest you leave. Iida, Ichako, and Izuku look outside the classroom to see what appears to be a giant yellow caterpillar with a human face and shaggy black hair. The zipper on the creature loosens so it can suck from a juice bag. This is the hero course. Something's here. The creature stands up and unzips itself to reveal it as a sleep-deprived guy with a yellow sleeping bag. It took 8 seconds for you to quiet down. You kids aren't rational enough. I'm your homeroom teacher, Shota Izawa. Nice to meet you. Everyone. Homeroom teacher. Izawa digs into his sleeping bag and pulls out some sort of uniform. Izawa. It's kinda sudden, but put this on and head out to the field. Meanwhile, in the teacher's lounge. All Might in his true form can be seen reading the teacher directory. All Might. The UA system does not follow the beaten path. Depending on the homeroom teacher, even the first day can be. At the field. All the students had gathered onto the field after changing into their identical sports uniforms. Izuku and a tentacled boy being the exception, since both of them wore sleeveless shirts. Ichako. A quirk assessment test. What about the entrance ceremony? The orientation? Izawa. If you're gonna be a hero, then you have no time for such leisurely activities. UA's selling point is how unrestricted its school traditions are. That's also how we teachers run our classes. You kids have been doing this since junior high, too, right? Physical fitness tests where you weren't allowed to use your quirks. Izawa says as he holds up his phone to reveal several tests planned out. Izawa. The country still uses averages taken from results from students not using their quirks. It's not rational. Well, the Ministry of Education is procrastinating. Let's see. Izawa looks to Izuku for a moment and narrows his eyes before shifting his gaze to Kitsumi. Izawa. Bakugo, you finished second at the practical exam, right? What was your softball throw record for junior high? Kitsumi glares at Izuku, who smirks back at her before returning her gaze back to Izawa. Kitsumi. 67 meters. Izawa. Try doing it with your quirk. Izawa says as he tosses her a ball. Kitsumi walks into the ball throw circle and starts stretching. Izawa. You can do whatever you want as long as it remains in the circle. Hurry up and give it all you've got. Kitsumi. Then, well. She finishes stretching and gets in a pitcher position. Kitsumi. I'll add a blast to the pitch. I'll show you how it's done, Deku die. She throws the ball while adding in an explosion and launches it into the air. Izuku. Die. Izawa. Know your own maximum first. Izawa says as the ball lands on the ground. He then holds the ball up to the rest of the class to reveal Kitsumi's score of 705.2 meters. Izawa. That is the most rational way to form the foundation of a hero. Electric boy. 750 meters. Seriously? Pink girl. What's this? It looks fun. Elbow boy. We can use our quirks as much as we want as expected from the hero course. Izawa. It looks fun, huh? You have 3 years to become a hero. Are you going to keep that attitude the whole time? Smile, alright. Whoever comes in last in all tests will be judged to have no potential and will be punished with expulsion. Everyone. Huh? Izuku. Sniff sniff, it smelled almost like a lie. But why? All Might. Izawa, huh? Looks like his hardships are already starting. Izawa. We're free to do as we please when it comes to our student circumstances. Smiles and lifts hair. Welcome to UA's hero course. Izuku. This seems bad, but I can't help but like a challenge. Ichako. You can't expel us like that, that's way too unfair. Izawa. Natural disasters, big accidents, and selfish villains. Calamities whose time or place can't be predicted. The world is covered with unfairness. Heroes are forced to deal with those situations on a daily basis. This isn't the average high school life you dreamed of. You'll face hardship after hardship for the next 3 years. So go beyond plus ultra and overcome it with all you've got. The students are now understanding the severity of the situation. Izuku cracks his neck and his knuckles as he starts warming up. Izuku. Yosh, I'm getting pumped. Test 1. 50-meter dash. Izuku is seen kicking back and watching all the others tackle the test and taking note of their quirks. Izuku. Everyone's got such different quirks, it's really interesting. Izuku looks up to see Kitsumi standing above him. Izuku. TCH, what you want Kat-chan? Kitsumi. Listen Deku, don't get a big head just because you placed first in the practical exam. If we were going head to head then there's no doubt that I would kick your ass. Izuku. Ain't you one with big head? Kitsumi. I twitch you know, I don't understand why, but I just can't help but feel pissed off whenever I look at you. Izuku. What a coincidence, I feel same. Izawa. Midoriya, Bakugo you two are up next. Kitsumi. Heh, how about we see which one of us ends up on top? Izuku. You're on. Izuku and Kitsumi make their way to the starting line and get into their running positions. Robot. On your marks get set. Izuku. Man beast fang spots. Izuku's hair turns yellow and black spotted fur appears all over his body. His tail then transforms into that of a cheetah. Robot. Go. Izuku runs forward at breakneck speed, while Kitsumi blasts forward with explosions from her hands. Izuku however, is far faster and makes it across the finish line before Kitsumi. Robot. 2.4 seconds. Ichako. Whoa, so fast. Iida. He outsped me. Izuku transforms back to normal as Kitsumi crosses the finish line. Robot. 4.13 seconds. Izuku. Smirk slow much. Kitsumi. TCH, beginner's luck. S2. Grip strength. Izuku. The hell is this thing? Izuku says as he stares at the grip machine in his hand. He looks at the others for a hint about what he's supposed to do. He sees the tentacled boy using his tentacles to squeeze the handle. Izuku. Oh, have to squeeze. Should I use my quirk for this? I don't think a gorilla hand can fit through this thing. In that case should I use? Izuku stares at his hand as he flashes back to when he met with All Might on the beach. 3 weeks ago. All Might. The trick to controlling it is feeling. Izuku. Feeling. All Might. You already pulled out 100%. Izuku. It broke me. All Might. But it'll be easy now that you have it. You should have already grasped the feeling. What was it like? Izuku. Crack. All Might. Be more specific. Izuku. Like blowing up balloon. All Might. That's simple but unique. In that case try reducing the amount of air you blow into it. Try not to have the balloon explode. You have 3 weeks. Try focusing on that image and you'll be able to manage. Act to present. Izuku. Even though he said that, my body, nay, not even my quirk has shown signs of adjusting. I don't get why though. Ugh, screw it, don't need quirk for this. Izuku yells as he squeezes down on the handle only for it to immediately break. His eyes then widen as he stares at the broken device with a shocked face. Izuku. Was that supposed to happen? Did I mess up? Whoa, you actually managed to break the machine. Wow, it's great to see we've got so many muscly guys in our class. Izuku looks to his side to see the boy bulgy elbows, tentacled boy, and a girl with purple balls for hair. Tentacle. That's pretty impressive. Izuku. Thanks, Tentacle. Name's Shoji Mezu. Elbow. I'm Shiro Hanta. Girl. And I'm Mineta Minora. Izuku. Pleased meet you. I'm Midoriya Izuku. Shoji. How'd you get so strong without using your quirk? I'd love to learn your secret. Izuku. A heavyweight training. Moving abandoned trucks and such. Minora. Whoa, that sounds so tough. Think you could let me know when you do that kind of training? I'd love to support you after a hot sweaty workout. Izuku. Sure, don't see why not. Minora. Sweet. I'll hold you to that promise. Shiro. Oi, I think you should be a bit more hesitant to make those kind of promises with her. Izuku. Why? Shoji. Trust us, it's for your own good. S3. Standing long jump. Izuku stands before the sandbox after witnessing Kitsumi clear the box. Izuku. How do I beat her in this? I could fly, but I can't build up enough momentum if I just stand here. What to do? You might want to get it over with. Sensei looks like the impatient type. Izuku looks to see the one telling him to hurry up as the class's other greenet and froggy female. I'm Asui Tsuyu by the way. But you can call me Tsu. Izuku. Okay. I'll just you just gave me an idea. Tsuyu. Kiro. Izuku smiles as he gets into a squatting position. He then leaps straight forward with his arms spread. While still in mid-leap he transforms his arms into wings and glides across the sandbox. Izuku. Alright, thanks Tsu. Tsuyu. You're welcome, I guess. Test 4. Repeated side steps. Izuku just did this test normally and placed second behind Minora, who used her quirk to completely trump everyone. Test 5. Ball throw. Izuku watched as the class used their quirks like Kitsumi to give the ball an extra boost. He looked unimpressed until it was Achako's turn. His eyes went wide as she used her quirk to get a score of infinity. The fellow classmates too shared in with his enthusiasm. Electric boy. That's amazing she got infinity. Izuku. Whoa, that was awesome. Achako. Thanks, although it kinda feels like using a cheat code or something. Izawa. Midoriya, you're next. Izawa says as he tosses Izuku a new ball. Izuku then walks into the circle and does some arm swings. Ida. Midoriya's been doing pretty well. But, why isn't he using his real power? He'd have gotten better scores that way. Kitsumi. Huh? The hell are you talking about? The damn Deku's been using his quirk the whole time. Ida. Yes, but this isn't the power he showed during the entrance exam. Kitsumi. Huh? Izawa watches on as Izuku continues stretching with a confident smirk on his face. Izuku. Yosh, gorilla strength should be enough to blow Kachan's record out of the water. Izuku transforms his right arm into that of a gorilla's. He then cocks his arm back. He swings his arm forward and throws the ball. To his surprise though, the ball lands closer and relatively faster than he expected. Izawa. 120 meters. Izuku. Huh. But I used. Izawa. I erased your quirk. Izuku looks at his arm to see that it had reverted back to normal. He then looks to Izawa to see his black hair and scar floating in the air to reveal a pair of yellow goggles. His eyes glow a deep red as he was clearly enraged. Izawa. That entrance exam was definitely not rational. To think someone like you came in first. Izuku. Erased my quirk. Izuku. Personal guard. Ragdoll. Yeah, he'll make sure your quirk's power is kept secret and stop you from getting in trouble. Izuku. I see, what'd he like? Ragdoll. He has a quirk that can erase other quirks. He goes by the hero name. Izuku. Eraserhead. Izawa. So you're aware of who I am? Eraser. I don't know him. I've heard of him. He's an underground hero. All Might. Hiding he doesn't like the media because he says it hinders his work. That's right, young Midoriya. He and I don't get along. Izawa. From what I can tell, you haven't been using your true power, have you? The power that let you decimate the zero-pointer in a single blow, you're afraid to use because you can't control it, am I right? Izuku. And no I. Before Izuku can continue speaking, Izawa's scarf wraps around him and pulls Izuku towards him. Izawa. Do you honestly believe someone like you, who can't even use their own power without incapacitating themselves, can't save people? You'd be decked after rescuing one person. Midoriya Izuku. With the way you are now, you can't be a hero. Izuku's eyes widen before he lowers his head. Izawa releases him from his scarf and deactivates his quirk. The others look shocked to see a teacher speak in such a way to a student. Izawa. I've returned your quirk. Now hurry up and take your throw. But if you fail to meet my expectations, I'll expel you immediately. Izawa walks out of the circle, leaving Izuku still with his head held down. Ida. It looks like he received some advice. Kitsumi. Probably just telling him he's expelled. Laser boy. To Achako, are you worried about him? I'm not at all. Achako. Who are you? Izawa. Will he incorrigibly prepare for an honorable defeat here by using all his strength or become intimidated and fall below the others? No matter which he chooses, he has no potential. Izuku. My full power. I can't control it at all. If I use, I'll destroy my chances. Should I just rely on my natural power? No, I refuse to hide from it any longer. If that's all the choices I've got, then I'm going all out. Izawa. Zero potential. Izuku transforms his arm and winds it back. He swings it forward but does not immediately throw it. Izawa and All Might's eyes widen as they both can't see what he's planning to do. Izuku. I hate to admit it, but he's right. If I can't master this power, then I can't be a hero. The point of contact on the ball switches from Izuku's whole hand to the tip of his finger. All Might. Hey, is he serious? Izuku. This is a power I have to work towards mastering. I can't use my quirk as a shortcut. Izawa watches on, waiting to see Izuku's resolve. Izuku. That's why, with all I've got, I'll do what I can right now. Izuku's index finger glows with the power of One for All, as red veins appear all over it. Izuku. Smash. Izuku yells as he launches the ball into the air with only the force of his finger. The other students are shocked at Izuku's display of power. Izuku himself is smiling despite his broken finger. Izuku. This pain is nothing. Izawa checks his phone to see Izuku's result of 20.2 kilometers. Izawa. It wasn't a throw that relied on power. Did he just concentrate it all in his fingertip? Izuku. Oi, sensei. Izawa looks up to see Izuku smiling while forming a fist with his broken finger. Izuku. I can still move. Izawa. Smile this kid. All Might. I came because I was worried, but what the heck, young man. You still couldn't control your power, but you also couldn't become incapacitated. So you propelled the ball at the last point of contact by sending the power of one for all to just your fingertip, minimizing the injury while maximizing the power. What the heck, young man. When did you get so cool? Electric boy. He got over 20k meters. Minoru. That's insane. Ichako. As expected from the one. Ida. His fingers all swollen. There was the entrance exam too. What a strange quirk he has. Laser boy. It's not exactly stylish. Pitsumi. What's with that power? There's no way having a gorilla arm can generate that much power, and that's way too different from natural power. What is the meaning of this? Pitsumi starts letting off some explosions before dashing towards Izuku. Pitsumi. Deku, you asshole, tell me what's going on. Izuku. Piss off, Kat-chan. Before Kitsumi can reach Izuku, she is binded and restrained by Izawa's scarf. Pitsumi. What do these clothes are hard? Izawa. They're weapons for capture made of carbon fiber woven together with metal wire made of a special alloy. Geez, don't keep making me use my quirk over and over. I have dry eye. Everyone. It's such a waste since his quirk is so amazing. Izawa. You're wasting time. Whoever's next, get ready. Izawa deactivates his quirk and releases Kitsumi from his scarf. Kitsumi remains motionless as Izuku walks past her to join the others. Ichako. Is your finger okay? Izuku. Yeah, it's fine. Pitsumi. That Deku, even though he's just an extra, even though we hardly know each other, I just can't help but get irritated by him. Test 6. Sit-ups. Despite having an injured finger, Izuku managed to outlast everyone in doing sit-ups. All thanks to his ridiculous stamina, of course. Test 7. Seated toe touch. Thanks to 4 years of being trained by Tiger, Izuku gained flexibility that you wouldn't normally expect of from someone so big. Thus, seated toe touching was easy as well. Test 8. Long distance run. Yet again, Izuku's monster stamina allows him to prevail in this test. Results. Izawa. Alright, I'll quickly tell you the results. The total is simply the marks you got from each test. Explaining verbally would be a waste of time, so I'll show you the results all at once. Izawa says as he presses a button on his phone to reveal a holographic representation of the results. It showed Izuku in first place, followed by Yaoi Rozumomo in second, Todoroki Shoko in third, and Kitsumi in fourth. At the very end in 20th place was Minoru. Minoru. No, not like this, I haven't even gotten to see any of the guys in swimming trunks yet. Izawa. By the way, I was lying about the expulsion. Everyone. Huh? Izawa. It was irrational deception to draw out the upper limits of your quirks. Everyone. What? Momo. Of course that was a lie. It should have been obvious if you just thought it through. Izuku. Was it really? It didn't smell like a lie, but it also didn't completely have the smell of truth. Zero. That was a little nerve-wracking, huh? Indeed, girl. I'll take up the challenge anytime. Izawa. And with that, we're done here. There are handouts with the curriculum and such in the classroom, so when you get back, look over them. Oh, and Midoriya. Izuku. Izawa. Gives note, have the old lady fix you in the nurse's office. Tomorrow will be packed with even more rigorous tests. Prepare yourself. Izawa walks away as Izuku is left confused by his strange teacher. Izuku. I got through today, but I can see I've got a lot to learn from here on out. Especially if I want to reach Yagi-sensei's level. All Might. Izawa, you liar. Izawa. All Might. So you were watching. Too much time on your hands. All Might. Irrational deception, you said. April Fool's was last week. You punished a whole class of last year's first years with expulsion. You don't hesitate to cut those you deem without potential. For a man like you to take back his word, that must be because you also felt the potential of that kid, right? Izawa. Also. Sounds like someone's playing favorites. All Might. Gah. Izawa. Is that how a teacher should be acting? With All Might having successfully been one-upped, Izawa proceeds to walk off. Izawa. His potential was not zero. That's all. I'll always cut those without potential. There's nothing crueler than letting a dream end midway after all. All Might. So you're being kind in your own way, huh, Izawa? But I really can't see us getting along. Later. Classes were now over and Izuku can be seen shambling to the front gate. Izuku. Ugh, so hungry. Before Izuku can walk off any further, he feels a hand on his shoulder. He turns around to find Ida. Izuku. Ida. Ida. Is your finger healed? Izuku. Yeah, good as new. Thanks to old lady. Ida. I see, that's good to hear. Izuku. I really need to learn how to control this power so I don't always rely on her. Although, I wonder if I can do what she did. Iida. I was really taken in by Mr. Izawa. He really gives off that best of the best feel. I didn't think a teacher would encourage us like that. Ichako. Hey, you two. Izuku and Iida turn around and can see Uraraka running up to them. Izuku starts smiling and wagging his tail to the notice of Iida. Ichako. Going to the station. Wait for me. Izuku. Uraraka. Iida. You're the Infinity Girl. Ichako. I'm Uraraka Ichako. You're Iida Tenya and you're Midoriya Deku, right? Izuku. Deku. Ichako. That's what the Bakugo girl called you during the exam, isn't it? Izuku. That's not my name. Stupid cat-chan call me that as insult. My real name Izuku. Iida. An insult. Ichako. Oh, is that right? Sorry but to me, Deku sounds like the Japanese word for you can do it, so I kinda like it. Izuku. Red-faced call me Deku. Iida. Midoriya-kun. I thought that name was an insult. Izuku. Blushing I don't get it either. But with that meaning, I'm fine with it. Ichako. Is that so, I'm glad. Izuku. Stomach grumble you too hungry. I know good ramen place. They let me eat for free. Iida. Ramen, huh? I'll take you up on your offer. Ichako. Sounds fun. I'm in too. Izuku. Smile alright, I'll lead way then. Izuku, Ichako and Iida walk side by side to their destination. On the way there, Izuku smiles as he realizes something. Izuku. I've got friends now, don't I? It's strange. A relationship so simple can make me so happy. Smile mom, dad, wherever you are I want you to know that I'm not by myself anymore. Later, at a certain mountain base. Ragdoll can be seen serving Ace his food. While putting away the bag, she feels her phone vibrate. She looks at the notification and smiles before running inside to show the others. Ragdoll. Hey guys, come look at this. Tiger. What is it? Ragdoll. Take a look at this picture Izuku sent me. The three hussy cats gather in front of Ragdoll and look at her phone. On it they see a picture of Izuku, Ichako, and Iida eating ramen, together with the caption I made friends. Pixie Bob. Aw, that's so precious. Mandalay. He's already made friends. I'm so glad. Tiger. Smile looks like I had no reason to be worried. Ragdoll. Honestly, he grows up way too fast for me. Let's hope we can see him again soon. Tiger. Saying that even though you saw him just this morning. While they're all busy talking about the photo, Katori and Ace listen in from the outside. Katori. TCH. Ace. Even though she acts like that, I can tell she's happy for you and Nikki. I hope you come back home soon. Pack leader. It's the second day of Izuku's high school life. The day starts off normally like any other high school. Izuku and his classmates take on normal classes, such as present mix unexpectedly ordinary English and Midnight's history. Izuku's beast of an appetite made for an interesting lunch as him, Iida and Ichako received many stares. Everything proceeds on normally until the afternoon classes. Everyone's attention is caught with the door sliding open. All Might. I am. All Might. Coming through the door like a normal person. Electric boy. Whoa, it's All Might. Radied girl. Wow, he really is a teacher here. Sigh. That's his Silver Age costume, isn't it? Pale boy. The style is so different, it's giving me goosebumps. All Might. Welcome to basic hero training. I'll be training you in the basics of being a hero. Let's not waste any time and get right into it today, we'll be doing. All Might pulls out a card that read battle from out of nowhere and boldly presents it to the class. All Might. Combat training. Pitsumi. Smirk combat. Izuku. Smile training. All Might. Before we get started though, you have to look the part. All Might yells while pointing at a wall. Shelves with numbered suitcases on them come from out of the wall. All Might. These cases contain the costumes whose designs you submitted to UA. So gear up and meet on ground beta. Everyone excitedly grabs their cases and heads for the changing room. Izuku on the other hand decides to follow All Might to ground beta. All Might. What are you doing, my boy? Izuku. I'll save time this way. I can just transform into my suit. All Might. I see. Also, can you stop speaking in my head like that? It's strange hearing you talk in such a manner. Izuku. Sorry. Time skip. In the Beta City training ground, All Might is waiting for Class 1 to arrive. He smirks as he hears the sound of footsteps from the entrance. All Might. They say clothes make the man. With that in mind, be aware that from this day forward, you're heroes. All Might says as everyone walks into the light wearing their costumes. All Might. Excellent, you all look substantially cool now, shall we begin, use ycats? Iida. Sir, Midoriya-kun is not here yet. Should we not wait for him? Izuku. I already here. The class looked to see a wolf with green markings wearing green pants walk out from behind All Might. Izuku. You guys take long to change. Floating gloves. Kaya, a doggy, he's so cute. Izuku. I wolf. Iida. Midoriya-kun. Izuku. Yeah, is me. All Might. Perhaps you should remain in your human form until we start the exercise. Izuku. Okay. Izuku stands on his hind legs and transforms back into his human form. This not only reveals that he's only wearing green shorts and a locket but also reveals his bullet wound scar. Minora. Thumbs up, a hero course is the best. Ichako. Flush Deku, don't you think your costume is a little too revealing? Izuku. Huh, why? That girl pretty much naked. Indeed girl. He's got a point. Izuku. See. Thanks, Indeed girl. It's Ig Kirishima. Izuku. Okay, thanks Ig-chan. To Ichako, that your costume? Ichako. Yeah, I know it's a bit much. I should have been more specific in the design. I ended up in a skin-tight bodysuit. Izuku. I like it. Looks cute on you. Ichako. Blushy, eh? You think so? All Might. Cough. Now that everyone is ready, let's get this training underway. Iida. Sir, this is a battleground from the entrance exam, so will we be conducting urban battles again? All Might. No, we'll be going 2 steps beyond that. Most of the time, villain fights take place outside, but if you look at the total numbers, atrocious villains appear at a higher rate indoors. Imprisonment, house arrest, backroom deals. In this society filled with heroes, villains will hide in the shadows. For this class, you'll be split into teams of villains and heroes and battle 2-on-2 indoor battles. Sai. Even without basic training. All Might. This is a real battle to understand those basics. The key this time is that there are no robots you can just beat up. Ponytail girl. How will wins and losses be determined? Pitsumi. How badly can we beat each other up? Ichako. Are we gonna be expelled if we fail? Iida. How will we be split up? Laser boy. Isn't this cape fabulous? All Might. Wait a minute, I'll explain to you all if you let me. All Might says as he proceeds to pull out a notebook. Izuku. Are you reading from a script? All Might. I'm not exactly used to this whole teacher thing. The scenario is that the villains have a nuclear weapon hidden somewhere in their hideout. The hero's goal is to either catch the villains or gain control of the nuclear weapon. The villains, on the other hand, have to guard the weapon or catch the heroes. Izuku. Did you pull this from an action movie? All Might. It's a classic scenario. All Might then proceeds to pull out a yellow box with the word lots on it. All Might. Now then, we'll be deciding teams by drawing lots. Iida. We're deciding so haphazardly. Izuku. Pros most of time make teams on spot. Happens cause of emergencies. Iida. I see. The ability to look ahead. Please excuse my rudeness. All Might. It's fine, now let's get things started and draw lots. One by one, the students draw lots until all of them were in a 2-person team. The team Izuku Midoriya and Kyoka Jiro. B team Shoko Todoroki and Mizo Shoji. C team Momo Yaoi Rozu and Minoru Mineta. B team Kitsumi Bakugo and Tenya Iida. B team Mina Ishido and Aoyama Yuga. F team Rikido Sato and Koji Koda. G team Denki Kaminari and Ichako Uraraka. H team Fumikage Tokoyami and Tsuyu Asui. I team Mashirao Jiro and Toru Hagakure. J team Ig Kirishima and Hanta Siro. Izuku. Kyoka Jiro. Huh. Who's that? I don't remember meeting anyone by that name. Boy. Izuku turns around hearing a voice from behind him. He looks down to find a purple-haired girl with earphone jack earlobes. Jiro. Looks like we're working together for now. Izuku. Oh, so you Kyoka Jiro. Jiro. Yeah, that's me. Let's just try and get through this as quickly as possible. Minora. Lucky tomboy, you get to go with the muscliest of the boys. All Might. Now that the teams are set, let's decide on the villains and heroes. All Might says as puts his fists in black and white boxes labeled villain and hero respectively. All Might. And the first teams to fight will be these guys. All Might yells as he pulls out a black ball labeled D and a white ball labeled A. All Might. Team A will be the heroes and Team D will be the villains. Izuku and Kitsumi both gasp as they didn't expect to fight each other so soon. All Might. The rest of you can go to the monitor room to watch how the battle unfolds. Everyone, yes sir. Ichako. Deku-kun, good luck. Izuku. Thanks, Ichako-chan. As everyone walks to the monitor room, Izuku and Kitsumi glare aggressively at each other. All Might. Villain team, go in and set up. Hero team, you'll break in 5 minutes. Iida and Jiro, yes sir. All Might. Villain team, learn to think from a villain's perspective. Don't be afraid to get hurt and go all out. Iida, yes sir. Tatsumi pays no attention to All Might and just watches Izuku as he does some warm-up stretches. Iida and Katsumi make their way through the building and make it to the floor with a weapon. Iida. Even though this is only training, it pains me to become a villain. Iida walks up to the weapon and gives it a knock. Iida. Papier match, huh? This is the weapon we have to defend. Katsumi. Hey. Iida turns around hearing Katsumi call him and sees her back turned on him. Katsumi. Deku's quirk is pretty strong, isn't it? Iida. Well of course, you saw his incredible strength back there, didn't you? Although it seems to carry a massive burden on his body by the way, you two seem awfully aggressive towards each other. Katsumi. TCH that damn mud I'm gonna get back at him. I'm not gonna stay known as a damsel in distress. Meanwhile, outside. Izuku and Jiro are currently waiting outside the building. Izuku is sitting on the railing and Jiro is leaning against it while they're both studying the layout of the building. Jiro. Having to memorize the entire building's floor plan, this is such a pain. At least we won't be expelled if we fail. Anyways, we should probably come up with a plan. Close combat's not my strong suit, so I'd rather try and avoid combat. Izuku. That shouldn't be a problem. You can leave the fighting to me. Jiro looks around confused as she hears a voice in her head. Jiro. Huh, who said that? Izuku. It's me, Izuku. And I'm not saying anything, I'm communicating using thoughts. Jiro. You can do that. Izuku. Yes, I can. I can also pick up your thoughts so we can have a sort of telepathic conversation. Jiro. I see. You know, you sound a lot smarter like this is. Izuku. That's because thoughts are in a universal language. I figured you'd be able to understand me more clearly if I used this means of conversation. Jiro. Well, I'll agree with you there. But why don't you do this all the time? Izuku. If I use it for extended periods of time, it gives me a massive headache. Anyways, getting back to our plan, I think it's best if we move together first. If we get ambushed, I can take care of them while you search for the weapon. Jiro. You know both of them, don't you? Any idea what their plan might be? Izuku. Knowing Tenyu-kun, he'll most likely want to try and defend the weapon. And I'm almost certain that shitty Kat-chan will try to come after me. You should be safe from her. Jiro. You really seem to hate her. Izuku. I don't hate her, she just pisses me off for some reason. Getting back to the mission, Kyoka-chan, we should enter from the third floor. It's the middle floor, so we should be able to. Jiro. Wait, what are you doing calling me by my first name? Izuku. Is that a problem? I call everyone by their first names. Jiro. It is for me. Izuku. Alright, I get it. But just work with me here. Jiro. Ugh, fine, but only this once. Izuku. Good, now remember to escape and make your way to the weapon if we encounter someone. Stay in touch with the mental link and keep me informed. Jiro. Okay. Izuku. And before we get started, there's a favor I want to ask. Jiro. What is it? Izuku stands up from the railing and removes his locket from around his neck. He then hands it over to her. Izuku. Look after this for me. I don't want it to get damaged. Jiro. A necklace. Well, sure, I'll make sure it stays safe. Izuku. Thanks, Kyoka-chan. All Might. Alright, it's time to get this show on the road. The indoor Team v Team battle training between Team D and Team 8 begins now. Izuku. Let's go. Jiro. Yeah. Meanwhile, All Might and the others are busy watching the proceedings in the monitor room. All Might. Okay, everyone, I want you all thinking as you watch this match. Young Midoriya, right now, you're now more than a student to me. I'll grade you fairly and strictly just like everyone else. So do your best and remember the training we went through together. Back in the training ground, Izuku and Jiro had successfully entered the building through an open window. Izuku. Infiltration successful. Do your thing. Jiro. Roger. Jiro says mentally as she plugs her earphone jack into the ceiling. After listening for a while, she pulls it out and turns to Izuku. Jiro. There's one of them somewhere in the upper floors. Izuku. Only one, eh? It's probably Tenyu-kun. Alright, my turn. Izuku says as a pair of long bat-like ears pop out from the side of his head that his hair was hiding. Jiro. What the hell are those? Izuku. These are my ears. Jiro. Then what are those on your head? Izuku. These are also my ears. Jiro. You mean you have two pairs of ears? Izuku. Yeah, is it really that unusual? Jiro. Well yeah, but you know what, forget it. You hear anything? Izuku. Yeah, there's someone on this floor. Stay close. Jiro. Okay. Izuku and Jiro make their way through the building towards the stairs. Izuku. One for all has to be off limits here. One wrong move and I could kill someone. If I stick with what I know then we should be fine. My quirk and training I need to use them as best I can. To apprehend the two of them, to get KingJoka to the weapon, and to complete this mission like a hero. Before Izuku can continue his thoughts, he spots Katsumi coming out of the corner with an explosion aimed at him. Izuku quickly grabs KingJoka and jumps out of the way. Izuku. KingJoka, you okay? KingJoka. I'm fine, but you? Izuku. Just a scratch. Katsumi wipes the smoke clear with her arm to reveal herself in her hero uniform. Katsumi. Come on now Deku, don't dodge. Izuku. Figured you come at me. Observation room. Minora. A surprise attack from the start. IG. Bakugo, that's cheating. A surprise attack isn't manly at all. All Might. A surprise attack is a strategy too. They're in the middle of a real battle now. Mina. Midori avoided it. Enki. There goes Bakugo. Back to the fight, Katsumi had begun charging at Izuku. Katsumi. I won't do so much damage that the fight gets stopped, but I'm sure as hell gonna get close. Katsumi yelled as she aimed a right hook at Izuku. Before she could land it though, Izuku easily sidesteps out. He then leans in closer while getting lower. He grabs her right arm with his left hand and places his palm against her stomach. Giro. Incredible, it's like watching a martial artist. Katsumi. What? Did he read my moves? Izuku uses his right arm to apply force and lift her up. He then uses his left arm to slam her onto the ground on her back. Everybody in the monitor room is astonished seeing Izuku move so smoothly for someone his size. Izuku. Rescue, capture, close combat, grappling. I spent years studying them. They're my territory. These inherited skills won't lose. Be afraid, this Deku doesn't quit. Useless. As if my Deku means you can do it. Katsumi. You shitty mutt. Katsumi gets back up and glares Izuku dead in the eyes. She stares him down before smiling. Katsumi. I don't see even a speck of fear on you. It's the same as back then. You're determined to win. You'll win no matter what. Katsumi's hands ignite with small explosions as her whole body is enveloped by rage. Katsumi. That part of you really pisses me off. Suddenly, Iida's voice comes out of Katsumi's earpiece. Iida. Bakugo-san, give me your status. What's going on? Katsumi. Shut up and defend. I'm angry right now. Iida. I'm not asking about how you feel. Hey. Iida was saying before getting cut off by Katsumi ending the transmission. Monitor room. IG. What are they saying? I can't tell with the cameras like that and no sound. All Might. Young Bakugo is communicating with her partner via small wireless radio. You bring it with you like the building's floor plan and capture tape. Mina. The heroes have 15 minutes to find the weapon, right? The heroes are clearly at a disadvantage. All Might. Heroes should be able to turn the tides no matter the situation. Besides, as Awa told you, didn't he? You know, here we go. Everyone. Plus Ultra. Yuga. Monsieur, Bakugo is. All Might. Huh. Back with Izuku, Katsumi puts her left hand behind her and ignites an explosion. Izuku. Go, KingJoka, get to the bomb. Giro. Okay. Katsumi blasts forward using an explosion and tries to roundhouse kick Izuku, but he manages to block it with his right arm. Katsumi. Don't you dare look away from me. Izuku. Gotcha. Katsumi looks to see that Izuku had binded her leg with the capture tape. Izuku. I'm gonna borrow your moves, Eraserhead. Katsumi grunts in frustration before swinging her right arm at Izuku again. Yet again, Izuku manages to slip away from the blast. Sato. That guy's amazing. Zero. He's really nimble for being that big. And he's not even using his quirk. Ichako. Deku finished first in the exam so it shouldn't be surprising, but it's still impressive. All Might. His reflexes and ability to read movements have always been incredible. He'll analyze his foe in a second and memorize their battle style. Izuku. It looks like she's locked onto me as her target. Great, now I need to keep her distracted until KingJoka finds Tenyu-kun. Izuku smirks at Katsumi while she grits her teeth at him. Izuku. Catch me if you can. Izuku says before turning completely invisible. Katsumi's eyes widen as she can hear him running. Katsumi. This crap again. I'm not letting you escape this time. Enki. He turned invisible. Toru. Wow, he's just like me. Ichako. I didn't know he could do that. Momo. Does he have some sort of hybrid quirk? I thought all he could do was turn into animals. All Might. It's a bit more complicated than that. After searching for a while, Katsumi grows angry. Katsumi. You damn bastard, show yourself, fight me like a man. I refuse to be looked down on by you. I'm paying you back for the humiliation you put me through. I'll prove that I'm better than you. Katsumi yells while igniting explosions in her palms. Enki. She's getting really mad. It's pretty scary. All Might. I remember that day last year. The sludge incident where young Midoriya rescued young Bakugo. For someone like her who had grown up with everyone praising her abilities, being rescued as if she was helpless must have been a serious blow to her pride. Meanwhile, Jiro had made her way to the 5th floor and located the room with Iida and the weapon. Jiro? Midoriya, can you hear me? It's me, Jiro. Izuku? Loud and clear. What's the situation? Jiro? I found Iida and the weapon. We're in the middle of the 5th floor. Izuku? Got it. I'll head there after I take care of Kat-chan. Tenya-kun is faster than you, so try to stay hidden. And be careful, Kyoka-chan, I don't want you getting hurt on me. Jiro? Blush W, what do you think you're saying? Iida? Oh, so you've arrived, Jiro-kun. Jiro? Crap, he spotted me, gotta go. Izuku? Sigh wheel, this just got more complicated. Izuku mentally says as he starts walking to the stairs. He stops however as he notices Katsumi walking into the passage. Izuku? There she is. It's about time I lock her in place. Izuku says mentally as he places his hand on the ground. Ice then starts forming at his fingertips. In less than a second, the entire hallway gets covered in ice. Katsumi, however, avoids getting frozen to the floor by jumping in the air. Jiro? He froze the ground. Katsumi? I've already seen that move of yours, I'm not gonna get caught by a trick I've seen before. Izuku? Heh, not bad. Izuku says as he uncloaks himself. At the same time, Katsumi's gauntlet glows red. Katsumi? They're fully loaded. Izuku? Loaded. Katsumi? Hey, where's that power of yours? Do you think you can take me down even while holding back? Are you underestimating me? Izuku? No, you strong. I see that. I serious. I wanna fight you, cause it fun, I love good fights. Katsumi flinches from confusion caused by his words. She then smiles and points the gauntlet to Izuku. Katsumi? Not sure if you know, but my quirk, explosion, lets me secrete nitroglycerin like sweat from the sweat glands on the palms of my hand and make it explode. Katsumi says as she pulls the attachment on the gauntlet back to reveal a pin. Katsumi? If they built these the way I asked them to, these gauntlets will store my nitroglycerin inside them, and… All Might. Don't tell me that's young Bakugo, stop, are you trying to kill him? Katsumi? He won't die if I don't hit him. Izuku? Smile, bring it. Katsumi pulls the pin on her gauntlet and launches a massive explosion that fills the entire hallway. Izuku smiles and braces for the oncoming explosion. The explosion not only collides with Izuku, but also destroys a section of the building. Jiro and Iida are knocked off their feet as a result of the building shaking from the explosion. Ichako. Deku. Ig. This is supposed to be a class, she's taking it too far. All Might. Young man, young Midoriya. The smoke clears to reveal Izuku still standing, but with the majority of his body burned from the explosion. Izuku? Amazing, I've never felt a blast this strong. Katsumi? Wow. The more nitroglycerin stored in these gauntlets, the stronger the blast. Was that enough to get you serious, Deku? Izuku? Smile, yeah, that was incredible. My whole body's shaking with excitement. Katsumi? Smile, what a coincidence, mine is too. Jiro? Midoriya, what happened? Are you okay? Izuku? I'm fine, Kyoka. I just took a good hit. I'm busy now, so I'll get back to you later. Katsumi? Hey, you're still good to go, right? Or is that all you can handle? Izuku? You wish. I still got enough fight left to finish you off. I'm not going down without fight. Katsumi? I like those words. Ig. Sir, you have to stop them, Bakugo's crazy, she'll kill him. All Might. No, strangely enough, part of her still seems to be sane. Still though, young Bakugo, the next time you use that, I'll stop the fight and your team will lose. Izuku? Katsumi? Huh? All Might. To attack on such a large scale inside is inviting the destruction of the stronghold you should be protecting. This is a foolish plan for both heroes and villains. You will lose a lot of points for it. Katsumi looks down in rage with her eyes shadowed by her hair. Izuku's face is shadowed in the same manner. All Might. As a teacher, I should stop this. However. Izuku? Stay out of this. Katsumi? Shut up. All Might. Huh? Young Midoriya, young Bakugo. Izuku and Katsumi. Stay out of this. The two shout loud enough that everyone in the monitor room could hear them through All Might's earpiece. Katsumi? This fight. Izuku? Is between heroes. Katsumi? And villains. Izuku? You've no say here. Izuku and Katsumi. Fighting with everything you've got in order to win, that's what a real battle is. Everyone is taken back by the words of the two and left speechless. All Might. They're both speaking with such passion. It's amazing. Izuku? We end this on our terms. Kitsumi. We're not letting you interfere. Izuku and Kitsumi say as they both take out their earpieces and crush them in their palms. All Might. Those two. Momo. They broke their earpieces. Kitsumi. Let's end this before they get here. I'm staking it all on this shot. Izuku. Sure, give me everything. The two smirk at each other as Kitsumi points her loaded gauntlet at Izuku. Denki. Sensei, do something. All Might. Even if ran now, I wouldn't be able to make it. Izuku. Trust me, Yogi-sensei. All Might. Young Midoriya. Kitsumi pulls the pin and launches another explosion. Izuku, however, starts running into the explosion with a smile on his face. Denki. He's crazy. Ichako. Deku. All Might. Young Midoriya. Minora. I can't watch. Kitsumi smiles as she can taste victory. She lets her exhaustion get the best of her at the moment. Izuku. Man Beast Fang. Kitsumi's eyes widen as she hears Izuku's voice coming from the smoke. Izuku bursts out of the smoke, his skin having the appearance of an armor composed of scales. Izuku. Pangolin Knight. Kitsumi is caught off guard by Izuku and stumbles backwards. Izuku uses this opening and punches her hard in the gut. She gets sent flying back into the wall and is knocked unconscious upon impact. Izuku immediately turns around and runs to the hole in the building created by Kitsumi's explosion. He then jumps up into the air ahead of him. Izuku. Kyoka, when I say now, hold your breath and run to the weapon. I sure hope I heard Kachan right. Explosive nitroglycerin sweat. The bottom of Izuku's feet suddenly start glowing, much to the surprise of everyone watching. In the next instance, explosions ignite from his feet and launch him through the 5th floor window. Iida. What the? Izuku. Now. Hearing his mental signal, Jiro holds her breath and makes her way to the weapon. Before Iida can try to stop her, he's enveloped by a pink mist secreted by Izuku's body. He then falls to the ground asleep just as Jiro grabs the bomb. Jiro. Weapon retrieved. Izuku gives her a thumbs up while lying on his back on the floor. He then passes out with a smile on his face. The timer runs out while everyone was watching was astonished. All Might. Hero team wins. Kyoka runs up to Izuku and Iida to check if both of them were okay. Kyoka. God, you really took me on a wild ride there. Denki. What the heck? Everything's a complete war zone. Only one of them is still standing. Sigh. This is supposed to be training. Izuku and Kitsumi are taken to the nurse's office, while Iida and Jiro are brought back to their class with All Might. All Might. Now then, I think it's time we decided who the MVP of this match was. Anyone want to guess? Momo. Hand raise yes, All Might sensei. The MVP was Iida-san. Iida. Huh. All Might. Oh. Momo. Iida-san was the one who adapted the most to the context of the training. Bakugo-san acted on her own because of some personal grudge. Like you mentioned before sensei, it is foolish to launch a large-scale attack indoors. Jiro-san exposed her position to the enemy, thus wasting a perfect opportunity to capture the weapon. As for Midoriya-san, his actions were too rash and reckless. He placed his own body at risk and actively went against sensei's orders with Bakugo-san. Ultimately, the hero team went into the mission completely uncoordinated. There was a total lack of communication and teamwork between the team members. The only reason they won was because of Midoriya's half-thought actions and the fact that this was simply training. All Might. She really went over the top there. What a well-thought-out overview. You'd get full marks if you were actually correct, but the MVP was actually young Midoriya. Momo. Excuse me. All Might. Well, it may seem as if he jumped in there without a single cognitive plan, you can actually see a plan if you watched all his actions. Using their enhanced hearing, the hero team was able to determine the locations of their opponents. Young Midoriya took it upon himself to distract young Bakugo, while young Jiro had searched for the bomb. His attempt to capture her may have failed, but he managed to neutralize his pursuer. He drew out her strongest attacks and caught her off guard. Though incredibly foolish and highly risky, it is a plan nonetheless. And it allowed him to return to his partner and complete the mission. As for communication, he spoke with you, didn't he, young Jiro? Jiro? Why yeah. He took on Bakugo because I said I'm not suited for combat. He knew Iida would be the one guarding the weapon and that Bakugo would go after him. I told him we were on the 5th floor and he told me to hold my breath after he broke in. He definitely had a plan there. Iida. From what I saw back then, I believe that's the only way she could avoid passing out from that gas. Although, they both broke their earpieces. How did he tell you that? Jiro. He spoke in my head. Momo. I understand you covering for your partner, but please don't lie. It's very unbecoming of a hero in training. All Might. No, the teachers are aware of his ability to communicate telepathically with others. Although highly unbelievable, it's actually true. It's been recorded amongst his known abilities. Momo. Is that so? Zero. Sensei, what exactly is Midoriya's quirk? Sato. Yeah, he can turn into animals, freeze stuff, turn invisible, speak telepathically, make that weird mist, and at the end, he used Bakugo's quirk too. Shoji. From the way you said it, it sounds like he has more powers than what he showed here. Ida. It is indeed unusual for someone to have so many different abilities. All Might. Though I may be your teacher, I am not in a position to reveal personal information like that. You're free to ask him about it yourselves later. For now though, we should get on with the rest of your matches. Everyone decides to put their curiosity aside and resume their training matches. One student with red and white hair still has her mind on the match. Shoko. That boy, his last name is Midoriya. Several hours later. Izuku opens his eyes to find himself in the nurse's office. Izuku. Back here again. RG. Ah, it seems you're awake. Izuku. Recovery girl, you heal me? RG. Just a little. You only suffered some burns this time. I'm impressed that you didn't destroy your body with your quirk again. Izuku. If that happened, my partner would get trouble. RG. HMPH, what a considerate child you are. I can see you've been raised right. Anyways, you're free to go now. Your spiky-haired friend left a little earlier. Izuku. Okay, thanks again. Izuku says as he gets up from the bed and walks out of the room. After tiredly shambling through the hallways, Izuku makes it back to the classroom. IG. Oh, Midoriya is here. Izuku. Huh. Before he knows it, Izuku is surrounded by his fellow classmates. IG. I don't what you were saying there, but you were so fired up, you were so manly back there. Zero. I can't believe you took on 2 full blasts from Bakugo, the number 2 from the entrance exam is expected from the top dog of the class. Mina. You were so cool dodging like that. Sato. Doing that in the first match got all of us pumped to give it our all. Yuga. You were far from elegant but. Mina. You were so cool dodging. Izuku. Thanks. Sato. I'm Rikito Sato. We're all going over today's training now. Yuga. I'm Aoyama Yu. Mina. I'm Mina Shido, you were so cool dodging. Sayu. You really took on a lot of damage back there. Minoru. Your muscles were so magnificent on the big screen. Sato. You did terrible in the training. Jiro. Hey Midoriya. Izuku. Oh, Kyo Jiro-chan. Jiro. It's fine, Kyoka is alright. Minoru. First name basis already, how did you get so close already? Izuku. But I call everyone first name. Minoru. Really? Say my name. Izuku. Minoru. Minoru. Kaya. Jiro. As I was trying to say here, I've got your locket. Izuku. Oh, thanks Kyoka. Mina. What's that? Sayu. Is it a locket? Izuku. Yeah, is my treasure. At that moment, the other classroom door opens up and Denki and Ichako walk in carrying books. Denki. Hey, you're Raka, wanna grab a bite to eat sometime? What do you like? Ichako. Machi wait, Deku. Ichako immediately forgets about Denki and runs to Izuku's side. Ichako. You had me so worried there and look at you, I thought recovery girl would have healed you already. Izuku. I fine Ichako. I just need rest up huh. Izuku was saying before he noticed that Kitsumi wasn't there. Izuku. Ichako, where's Kat-chan? Ichako. We all tried to stop her, but she just left without saying a word. Izuku. I see, I'll be right back. Izuku says before bolting out the classroom. He hastily runs out the building and spots Kitsumi walking to the front gate. Izuku. Oi, Kat-chan. Kitsumi. What do you want, Deku? Here to gloat about winning? I lost, I get it. Izuku. No, I wanna say that you strong fight against you is fun, I wanna do it again, I really don't like you, but love go against you. Kitsumi is taken back a bit by Izuku's words. Though Izuku can't see it, there was a blush on her face. Izuku raises his arm and points his fist at her. Izuku. You want to prove you better than me? I'll take on your challenge whenever you want, consider me your rival. Kitsumi looks at Izuku for a moment before smiling. She raises her fist and points it up to Izuku. Kitsumi. Rival. As if. You're my prey, I'll take you down and claim my rightful place by force. Just you wait, Deku. The two smile at each other for a while. Unbeknownst to them though, All Might was listening and hiding. All Might. Looks like I was worried for nothing. You're more mature than I gave you credit for. You managed motivator after you injured her pride, well done. The others too were watching the exchange between the two from the window. Mina. What was that? Ichako. A fated rivalry has just been born. Sayu. It looks like Midoriya was trying to cheer her up. Ichako. A fated rivalry. Jiro. Feels like things are gonna get wilder from this point onward. The next day. Izuku is flying through the air on his way to school. His face carries a tired expression while his mouth holds a piece of bread. Izuku. I'm so hungry. I really need to learn how to set an alarm so I can have a decent breakfast. As he makes his way to school, Izuku notices a group of people gathered in front of the entrance. He lands and transforms his arms back to normal before scarfing his bread down. Izuku. What's going on here? News lady. Excuse me, you're a student here, right? What are All Might's classes like? Izuku. Huh. No interviews. Izuku yells before changing invisible. News lady. Huh, where did he go? Izuku quietly sneaks past all the reporters and makes his way to the school building. Once he's inside, he uncloaks with a sigh. Izuku. I really hate cameras. I never know what to say in front of them. After making it to class, Izuku waits for the others to come in. He takes a nap until Izawa comes in and starts classes. Izawa. Good work on yesterday's combat training. Bakugo, your talent goes to waste if you keep acting like a child. Pitsumi. Whatever. Izawa. Midoriya, good job not breaking something. However, you need to learn to get your power under control. You can't just avoid using it. You never know if the situation will call for it. Izuku, yes sensei. Izawa. Good. Now let's get down to homeroom. Sorry if this is a little too late, but today, I'll have you. Everyone. Another expulsion test. Izawa. Decide on a class rep. Everyone. So normal. IG. I wanna be class rep, pick me. Enki. Me too. Jiro. Same here. Yuga. This job was made for. Mina. I'll be the class rep. Minoru. My manifesto will have all the boys wear speedos and sheer tank tops for uniforms. Pitsumi. Let me do it me. Iida. Silence please, this is a serious job with a serious responsibility of leading others. It is not just a job for anyone who just wants to do it. It is a calling that requires the trust of those around you. If we want to use democracy to decide a leader, we should an election. Iida says regardless of the fact that his hand was raised the highest. Everyone. Your hand is raised the highest. Sai. We haven't known each other for that long, so how can we trust each other? IG. Yeah, and wouldn't everyone just vote for themselves? Iida. That's exactly why the person with the most votes can be considered the most suitable. What do you think, Aizawa-sensei? Aizawa. As long as you decide before homeroom ends. Iida, thank you sir. And so, everyone placed their votes. The end result being Izuku with 3 votes, Momo with 2 votes, and Iida with 1 vote. Izuku. I got 3. Pitsumi. Who the hell voted for Deku? Zero. It's better than voting for you. Pitsumi. The hell did you say? Ochaco and Jiro. I think I'll keep quiet. Iida. 1 vote, it's more than I expected, but only 1. I suppose that's only to be expected of a person's calling. Momo. You voted for someone else, huh? Sato. But you wanted to do it too. What are you thinking? Aizawa. Alright, then it's decided. Izuku and Momo are brought to the front of the class for Aizawa to present them. Aizawa. Midoriya is the class rep and Yaoirozu is his deputy. Izuku. Didn't expect this. Momo. How vexing. Sai. This might not be so bad. IG. Yeah, Midoriya seems like the honest type and he gets pretty fired up too. And Yaoirozu was cool when going over the battle results. Izuku. What to say, well, thanks. Happy you trust me. I've been in position of pack leader before so I know what it about. Here though, there no pecking order. As alpha, I lead you down best path. You come to me if there are problems. Your problem my problem. I do best I can to make sure everything goes well. IG. What a manly speech. Enki. He pretty much based it on wolf hierarchy. It really fits him. After getting that hole settled, everyone heads out to lunch. Iida, Achako, Jiro and Izuku were sitting at table and casually enjoying their food. As Izuku is busy scarfing down his food, he feels a tap on his shoulder. Izuku. Oh, Momo-chan. Momo. Is it alright if I sit with you? Izuku. Sure. Momo. Thank you. Your speech was most impressive. Izuku. Oh, thanks. Sure hope I do job right though. Iida. I'm sure you will. Your judgment and courage are why I voted for you after all. Izuku. Oh, so you vote for me. Jiro. But didn't you want to be class rep too, Iida? Iida. Wanting to do it and being suitable for it are 2 different things. I merely did what I judged to be correct. Izuku. Merely. Achako. You don't usually use that word. Iida. Oh, that's. Achako. Iida, you're a rich kid aren't you? Iida. Rich. Sigh, I prefer not to be called that, so I changed the way I speak. And yes, my family has been heroes for generations. I'm the second son. Ichako. What? Jiro. Wow. Iida. Do you know the turbo hero, Ingenium? Izuku. Oh, yeah, my niece tell me about him. Wait. Iida. He's my elder brother. Momo. Incredible, Ingenium is an incredibly liked hero who stands as a prime example of integrity to everyone. Iida. Yes, I set my sights on being a hero because I wanted to be like him. However, it's still too soon for me to lead others. Midoriya is more morally correct than me. During the practical portion of the entrance exam, he put the true purpose of the practical exam into purpose, not because he wanted to pass, but because he wanted to save Uraraka. That alone makes him more suitable for the job. Jiro. Wow, that's the first time I've seen you smile. Iida. Really? I smile. Izuku. Tenya-kun, you're a good person. Some test can't prove that wrong. Iida. Midoriya-kun. Izuku. Still, surprised we so similar. Izuku. Huh. Ichako. What do you mean, Deku? Izuku. My family also heroes. Wild hussy cats. Momo. The famous rescue heroes. Izuku. Yeah, they find me and raise me. I wanna be hero and make them proud. Iida. I didn't know any of that, Midoriya-kun. I really wish you told me about that sooner. We'd have so much more to talk about. Izuku. Ah, sorry. Momo. Midoriya-kun, what do you mean they found you? Izuku. I grew up as wolf until I 10. They rescue and my siblings after we lose our pack to bad people. They raise us 3 and train me to become hero. Momo. What? Ichako. Deku. Iida. Midoriya-kun, that's. Jiro. Then that scar on your chest. Izuku. Is where I got shot. Momo. I am so sorry about making you speak of something so personal. I should learn to keep to my own business. Momo looks down in disappointment from saying that. She then looks up as she feels a hand pat her head and can see Izuku smiling at her. Izuku. It's fine. You my alpha female. Don't need to hold back with me. Momo. Thank you. Jiro. You're a really forgiving person. Izuku. I guess so. Jiro. Since you're busy answering questions about that locket. Before Jiro can ask her question, an alarm goes off and sends the students into a panic. There has been a level 3 security breach. All students please evacuate outdoors promptly. Denya. What's a level 3 security breach? Random student. Someone's trespassing on school grounds. It's the first time I've seen this in the 3 years I've been here. You should hurry and evacuate. And with that, all the students are sent into a rampage as they all try to escape at the same time. Izuku uses his quirk to walk on the ceiling and avoid getting stamped on. Izuku. All this from a trespasser? Who in the world, huh? Out of the corner of his eye, Izuku notices the media outside the window. Izuku. Them again. They're the cause of this. Izuku looks down to the crowd and can see his friends and fellow classmates getting pushed, shoved and stomped on. Izuku grows enraged from this and starts taking action. He crawls on the roof to the exit. Izuku. Enough. Izuku's scream causes everyone to quiet down and focus their attention on him. Izuku. Look at yourselves, you're running over friends and classmates getting hurt over nothing. Look outside, it's the news. You and UA, act like it. Everyone looks outside to see the police taking care of the media outside. This causes them all to calm down. Izuku drops back down to the ground and walks up to his friends. Izuku. You guys okay? Jiro. We are, thanks to you. Ichako, thanks Deku. Momo. You did great, Midoriya-san. Iida. And there you go, proving my point about you being suitable. Izuku. This is why I hate news. Let's go back to class. The 5 of them head back to class while the teachers and police take care of the media. Unbeknownst to them, however, there was a darker force at large and All Might wouldn't be there to help. Small time skip. The entire class 1 is riding on a bus to the location of their rescue class. Izuku is lying between Tsuyu and Iji and his wolfworm on the bus seat. Momo. You seem to be in a good mood, Midoriya. Izuku. That cause we doing rescue. It my bread and butter. Iida. I see. By the way, why are you in that form of yours? Izuku. Best form to take car rides in. Tsuyu. I always say what's on my mind. Midoriya. Izuku. Yes Tsuyu. Tsuyu. Your quirk's power is like All Might's. Izuku. You think so? Iji. Wait a minute, Tsu, All Might doesn't get hurt when he uses his. The power is just the same. Izuku. Yeah. Iji. Still, I can't get a read on your quirk though. Momo. Yes, we still don't know what your quirk is. Tsuyu. It doesn't look like a normal quirk. Izuku. You curious? Well, okay. My quirk pretty much let my body do what I want it to. If I want to be wolf, my quirk change my body to wolf's. If I want generate electricity, my quirk makes electricity generating organs. Denki? That's op as hell. Momo. With a quirk like that, you could literally do anything. Izuku. Not really. I have limits. I can't erase Earth's gravity, just nullify its effect on me. Can't do things that don't use my body as catalyst. Sato. Even without that, it's still impressive. It's like some sort of mutant super quirk. IG. It's like a 1 in a million lucky draw. Jiro. Is it possible you got the quirk from your parents? Izuku. Dunno. Jiro. Huh. How do you not? Izawa. Enough messing around, we're here. Still a bit overwhelmed from what they heard, everyone walks out of the bus. Once they exit the bus, they are met with the sight of what appeared to be a spaceman. Hello everyone, I've been waiting for you. Izuku. Oh, rescue hero, 13. Ichako. Oh, I love 13. 13. Let's go inside without delay. The students follow 13 inside and are immediately amazed. There were many different areas that had themes ranging from fires to mountains to water. IG. Wow, it's like USJ. 13. A shipwreck, landslide, fire, windstorm, etc. This is a training ground with different types of accidents and disasters. It's called the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, or USJ. Everyone. It really is USJ. Izawa. Where's All Might? Wasn't he supposed to meet us here? 13. Yeah, he wore himself out on his way to UA, so he's resting in the lounge. Izawa. Sigh, of course. Well, we already had precautions set in place. Shall we begin? 13. Before we begin, let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Everyone. The number keeps growing. 13. I'm sure most of you know that my quirk, Black Hole, can suck up anything and turn it into dust. Izuku. Yeah. You use it for rescue. 13. Yes, but it can just as easily kill. I'm sure some of you have similar quirks. In this modern society where personal quirks are certified and regulated, we easily forget that quirks can kill with one wrong move. With the tests and training you've done so far, you've discovered the possibility of your own hidden powers and experienced the danger of using your quirks on others. Here, you'll learn how to use your quirks to save people's lives. Your powers are not meant to harm others. I hope you leave here with the understanding that your quirks are meant to help people. That's all. Thanks for listening. Everyone claps and cheers as they take 13's words to heart. Izawa. Alright then, first. Before Izawa can finish, the lights surge with electricity and go out. The fountain in the center of USJ starts acting strange as a purple portal forms in front of it. Out of the portal steps a man covered in hands. Izawa's eyes immediately widen as he recognizes the danger. Izawa. Gather together and don't move 13, protect the students. IG. What's that? From out of the portal, several more menacing people step out with the handman. IG. Has the lesson already started? Izawa. Don't move. One final figure steps through the portal. The hulking figure has dark bluish skin with red scars all over his body. His brain was exposed and his mouth is that of a bird's beak. Izuku could feel his neck hairs stand on end just by looking at the monster. Izawa. Those are Izuku villains. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.